humanists. How about you?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Hello,
Good morning.
Aditya. Hello. Good afternoon to you.
Thank you, sir. Friends, welcome to one more episode of Ask BG Live on this Sunday. And మీరందరూ మేము ఇంతకుముందు చేసిన ఆస్క్ బీజీ ఎపిసోడ్స్ విత్ ఏఐ చూసే ఉండింటారు. ఐ హోప్ యూ ఆల్ ఎంజాయ్డ్ ఇట్, ఎస్పెషలీ ద లాస్ట్ ఎపిసోడ్ వేర్ టూ పర్సనాలిటీస్ ఆఫ్ బీజీ సర్ లైఫ్ వాళ్ళు వచ్చి వాళ్ళ ప్రశ్నలు అడిగారు. Especially my personal best interview was Madam asking those candid questions to BG sir. So lovely to see the couple on screen. I need to thank Madam also for her contribution. ఒకవేళ మీరు ఎవరైనా చూడకపోయింటే I immediately request you to go watch that. It's an amazing series of Ask BG AI that we did. Sir, ఈ రోజు స్పెషాలిటీ ఆఫ్ దిస్ ఎపిసోడ్ ఏంటంటే, సో I've invited only young minds to join today's show and ask you a few questions. So any children between 5 to 17 with the consent of their parents, if you wish to join today's live, come on video, please do. You're most than welcome. And ఒకవేళ మీరు not comfortable with video, you can also turn off your video and ask your questions to BG sir. BG sir, before we go anything further, I would want to ask you one question. So you also had been a young mind at one point of your life. So what was that one big question that you always had in your mind, and did you ever get an answer for it?
I think we are surrounded by questions all the time. We are immersed in them all the time. So there is not one single big question I had. But depending on the day and the mood, I think that day's question would be the biggest for your life. So I'm afraid I don't have a fixed so many or this particular question. Life is so dynamic that we keep facing new questions. Sometimes it's practical things, sometimes it's theoretical, philosophical. So yeah, really, I don't have one single question. Everything is big depending on the mood of the day.
Okay, that means you always had questions. I think that's you always encourage us also to have questions always. That is how we all develop and move forward and improve our lives as well.
You see, I was fired by the translation provided by the late Ravipudi Venkatadri Garu. I keep repeating it. Wherever possible, I attribute it to the original source. A German thinker asked this question about question, and he said, religion is about answers, science is about questions, and religion is about permanent answers, and science is about permanent questions. Can you see how deep these few lines are? When you say, I have discovered, I have found out the truth, then you will not let anyone interfere with it. You will write it down in the form of a book. You will even call it holy. Nobody should question it. After that, you make it a part of your political structures and societal structures. So there is pressure from the elders and the powerful in society and the peer group, and they keep saying, you can't disagree with the answer given to you. In the political structures, the legal structures, power structures, anyone who will question any answer will then have serious punishments, either through the law or very often illegally as well. So, what we end up with is those who claim that they have answers which are permanent become dictators. The dictatorship of the mind is how it starts. And then very soon, it becomes a dictatorship that is 360 degrees: social, political, cultural. Now, what is the other side of this? The other side of it is that the scientific enterprise has permanent questions. Now, when we say permanent questions, these grand questions of humanity, and these are not just my questions, these are not just your questions, these are the questions of every thinking mind. And these questions are really, who are we? Where do we come from? Is there a purpose in life? Who decides that purpose? What happens after we are dead? Actually, where did all this come from? This universe. మనం ఈ విశ్వాంతరాళాన్ని ఒకసారి బేరీజు వేసుకుంటే, దాని గురించి ఆలోచించడం మొదలు పెడితే, ఈ చాలా లోతైన ప్రశ్నలు మనకు రాకుండా ఉండవు. ఏ ప్రశ్నకైనా సమాధానం జ్ఞానం పైన ఆధారపడి ఉండాలి. ఏది వాస్తవాలకి సంబంధించిన ప్రశ్న వేసినప్పుడు దానికి సమాధానం జ్ఞానం మీద ఆధారపడి ఉండాలి. నైతికత గురించి అడిగినప్పుడు విలువలు, విశ్వజనీన విలువలు ఏమిటో వాటి ఆధారంగా మనం ఒక అంచనా వేసుకుంటాం. So when we ask these big questions, who are we, where do we come from, what is the purpose of life, who decides these things? These are really the questions of every thinking person throughout the various civilizations that we have been able to record. If you don't have thinking people, it cannot really be a civilization, right? Because these questions have repeated, we say the questions are permanent. And as we gain knowledge, as we gather information that is sure, that we can examine and investigate, our answers can change, right? Now, if we look at the great Galileo, the Galileo's story everyone knows. But what did Galileo say? Galileo gave us the concept of a universe which confirmed the concepts that Copernicus had, that the sun is at the center and the rest of the universe, mainly what we now call the solar system, orbits around it, revolves around it. Kada. But Galileo is not entirely correct, isn't it? The sun is not the center of the universe. It is the center of the solar system. Copernican idea of heliocentric concept is that the sun is at the center of the planet's system, our planetary system. We discover that the sun is a star, and we discover that it's not one sun, there are billions of suns. Where? Just in our galaxy. No one ever thought that the Milky Way, Palapunta, consisted of other stars. The one fellow who thought about this was killed for that thought. That was the great Giordano Bruno. Today we know that the sun is not a very little one, not a junior star, but it's a medium-sized star in our galaxy, one amongst billions of stars. And we are not even at the center of the Milky Way, we are to the side. The question is still the same, but the answer has changed. In just about 400 years, we have been able to upgrade our answer. Sometimes we abandon the answers that we were hanging on to and changed them, revised them, corrected them in the light of newer knowledge. At one time, atom was considered the smallest indivisible part of matter. That was the foundation of matter. And indeed, when the modern theory of atomic theory, was proposed about 200 years ago, this is how we understood it. Atom is that which cannot be divided. So the permanent question has always been, what is matter? What is this universe made of? Answers have changed, have they not? We have given ourselves answers that there is ether in the universe, that the universe is made of what is mostly a religious concept of energy rather than a physics concept of energy. And we were just talking about this, we were speculating, and suddenly we have people saying, look, the world, the universe, is made of particles. Atomicism is not of recent times. 2,500 years ago, the Jains and the Buddhists, when they were talking about these, and the great Indian materialists of that time, the Charvakas, but not only the Charvakas, the Indian philosophical systems then were postulating that, not all, but the majority of them, that it did not depend on a god, it depended on matter. The Jains thought it was continuously falling matter, like some Greeks did. Today we don't say that the smallest unit of matter is atom. That which cannot be divided further is an atom. And the concept of Dalton and the others, when they proposed these ideas, was that that which cannot be divided more is this. Then that got expanded. We found that there were electrons going around a nucleus. Then we found that there were protons and neutrons within it. Okay, so this proton, neutron, electron might be the smallest parts. And then we investigated more, right? And then we found out that not these, there are subatomic particles, smaller than that. Question, what is the universe made of? Answer, we move from one to another, at every step taking us closer to reality. Now, this is a wonderful quest. Permanent questions with religion are always with permanent answers. Permanent questions with science, with humanism, which is a worldview based on science, knowledge, democratic principles, will have answers that keep changing to approximate truth. I keep repeating this great man for how so clearly he summarized his concept of things. He said, truth is the content of knowledge. You want to know the truth about things? Pursue knowledge. That is M.N. Roy. So, permanent questions, permanent answers, religion. Permanent questions, varying answers, evolving, science, humanism, modern thinking. Now, with religion, at some point, they are not even bothered about the permanent questions. Just stick to the answers. So that's how we look at things through the framework of questions.
Thank you, sir. Today we've got Vamsi joined us. Vamsi, can you hear us? Would you like to ask a question to BG sir?
Hi,
Hello.
sir. I'm
Hello
actually
once.
yeah, actually joined to spectate, like listen to what you're saying rather than I'm asking questions.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't have
Thanks,
any
Vamsi
question.
garu. Okay. If you want
Yeah,
to just listen on YouTube, please. The link what we provided is for people who wants to join. Today the episode is
okay,
only
okay.
for
I,
young minds between 5 to 17. Thanks, Andy. Thanks for your interest. So we've got a question from Arun Gopalam garu. I'm guessing it's a question from their kid. So Raksha, what color is mirror?
Now, I think we have a fight with Arun Gopalam himself because Arun is the father of Raksha. Why did he let that question come to me? He should have already found the answer and told Raksha, isn't it, Arun Garu? So we will leave that responsibility with you. It's a very nice, charming question, Raksha. And you must make sure dad finds the answer, shares it with you, and that dad will share it with people in the group, the BG group in Facebook also. Arun, for those who do not know him, is based in the UK, and he's a brilliant IT person who has created some programs for use by humanists. Thank you, Arun Garu. So we are all now waiting for your answer. Why is the sun colder than its corona?
Yeah, that's a second
And
question from Raksha to you.
yes, Ask BG is not about finding answers to what is already explained in school textbooks, right? This is not a tuition session. Let us have a conversation. Raksha, would you like to talk to us? There are friends from around the world who are either now listening or later will be listening. So, do you want to share your experiences from school science classroom, Raksha? Aditya, you are on mute, I think.
Raksha is joined only through the comments, so let's wait for her comments. Sir, while we wait for more young minds to join, 2 days back, India celebrated it Independence Day. So you had always been advocate of human rights, freedom, and why is freedom so important for anyone? And does freedom has got any limits?
You see, you use two words in the same question: independence and freedom. Now, I am someone who is inspired more by the idea of freedom than that of independence. Why? The extraordinary, noble, inspiring fight for independence was for political independence, as in, who will be the ones having political power over the people of India? Obviously, it should be the people of India. Now, the British have no reason to be there. No one has any reason to be in another land, occupying it or controlling it. Whether it's India or Gaza, it's still the same principle. Or whether it is Ukraine. Now, why am I more interested in freedom more than independence, despite the great inspiration that that noble struggle provides? Because we want to be independent for what? Lala Lajpat Rai was asked this question when he went traveling outside India to get support from people outside the country for the movement for independence of India. And the question he was asked was simply, what if you get independence will it then not give power to the dominant oppressive castes and classes of your country? And the poor, uninspiring, unimaginative answer from Rajpat Raiji was, is there not a difference between being kicked by your brother and being kicked by a stranger? This is independence badly understood. We want independence so that everyone in society can be free. Being free is about human rights, having the choice, freedom to do some things and freedom from some things. As in, you want freedom to travel, to think, to write, to practice your profession, to set up your own family. So many things. Freedom from is freedom from hunger, freedom from violence, and freedom from oppression. All these are part of the concept of human rights. India becoming independent in 1947 gave Indians the best opportunity to pursue freedoms for all. What is the India that started her journey as a modern nation, as a modern political entity, say 75, 78 years ago? It's an India that had 330 million people. Hardly anyone statistically expecting to live beyond age 40, because that was the country's average. Our own families may have different histories, but in general, the average Indian lived that long. Not in great health, with so many diseases, with lots of hunger, famine, drought was always there. There were not enough doctors. Today, 75 years after we gave ourselves a constitution, and also 75 years after we gave ourselves an election commission, today we have 1.4 billion people. There is malnutrition, but there is no famine of the kind India suffered from when the population was less than 1/4 of today. It is true that still 75%, very optimistically counting, is the literacy rate today of India. It is also true that there are today as many illiterates in the country as there were people in India when we became independent. However, the fact is, more than 1 billion people can read and write in a country that was not really literate at the time of independence. We live longer, we are healthier, and while it's not a perfect situation at all, we have a great improvement in the human condition in India. Kings have been replaced by democracy, a chaotic democracy, but a democracy. There was extreme caste oppression, terrible situation for the women in society. It has all changed for the better. Not fast enough, not where we should be. It should be better. Our democracy is not fully liberal like it should be. The fears of Ambedkar, of M.N. Roy, of C. Rajgopalachari, that we would have people looking back to the time of the British and feel nostalgic about how things were better. That Rajgopalachari said that we may be okay as a formal democracy, as Dr. Ambedkar said, or if power moves to the fascist forces, it will be a terrible tragedy, as M.N. Roy said, and wrote actively, Freedom or Fascism, his collection of essays. What they have feared is still there as a danger, sometimes already established. Ambedkar ji said, democracy as a formality might be there, as a formal process. And yet, in the last 10 years, we can see, and especially the big expose by Rahul Gandhi, that even the formal process is with many question marks, serious question marks. But these are challenges of a new democracy, and the responsibility to protect the precious aspects of this democracy are with the people themselves. How many people are there? Modern India has 1.4 billion citizens. Of them, almost 1 billion, 1,000 million people are registered as voters. 100 crores are registered as voters. 65 to 67% has been the voting percentage, which means 65 crores of people periodically are expressing their desire for what kind of political, social process should be set in motion in the country of their will. Of course, the process is not clean. Voters are ready to be bought. Voters are ready to be swayed by prejudice and hatred, as we have seen. That they are inclined towards religious bigotry. We see that. Nevertheless, it is voters who are able to go and express their choice. Much of this optimistic, positive vision of the process of our democracy has been put in serious question in the last 20 years. It also was the case when I was going to school. They used to call it the Republic of Bihar because it seemed like the rule of law did not apply in that state, where ballot boxes were stolen, not just single votes. Boxes by boxes were stolen. From there, we came to an electronic process. We came to introduction of voter identity cards. And surely it became much better, except for this terrible, unacceptable, ridiculous stance that the Election Commission of India is taking today. It's a betrayal of the people. There are many challenges. Probably India was more united 50 years ago than it is today, because there are forces of division, factionalism, which are provoking people, which are damaging the ethos of the country. But you deserve what you ask for. If people have voted for forces that promote division, that is what they will get. And therefore, people have to be careful. And let us not forget that the growth, the development, the advancement of India is because of the people of India. If India is eating better than what it did for probably 2000 years before, it is because India learned how to produce food. Indian farmers produced food. They did that not because they were doing yajnas and yagas and performing yoga or rituals. They did it because scientists gave that modern methods technology. The people of India have started going to school. Many started asking themselves questions, thinking about things, and that is the basis of us moving forward. I see that we have a guest.
Yes, sir. Yes, we do have a guest. I think this is one of your newest friend that you made during your trip to Western Australia. Rishi, you joined online now. So do you have a question that you want to ask Vijay, sir? Rishi, over to you.
Um, if కొంతమంది 1990s లో అనుకున్నారు కదా కొంతమంది అడిగారు కదా కొంతమంది ఫ్లయింగ్
Rishi,
కార్స్ ఉంటది అనుకున్నారు కదా
రిషి టీవీ మ్యూట్ చేసి ఫోన్ లో చూసి మాట్లాడు రిషి.
అవును టీవీ మ్యూట్
ఓకే, టాక్ టు ద ఫోన్ రిషి ప్లీజ్. రిషి, టాక్ టు ద ఫోన్ ప్లీజ్.
చెప్పమ్మా. 1990s లో ఫ్లయింగ్ కార్స్ ఉంటాయి అని అనుకున్నారు
అనుకున్నారు
కదా,
కానీ
అడుగుతున్నావు కదా.
2000s లో ఏమనుకుంటారు
2000s లో ఆల్రెడీ ఫ్లయింగ్ కార్స్ పక్కన పెట్టు, మార్స్కి ఎప్పుడు వెళ్ళాలి, స్పేస్కి టూరిజం ఎలా ఆర్గనైజ్ చేయాలి అని మాట్లాడుకుంటున్నారు. వేర్ డూ యూ వాంట్ టు గో ఫర్ యువర్ వెకేషన్ అని క్వశ్చన్ వేస్తే, ఐ వుడ్ లైక్ టు గో టు జపాన్, టు చైనా, టు అమెరికా, ఇట్లా క్వశ్చన్ అనుకునే వాళ్ళు చాలామంది. ఇప్పుడు ఏమంటున్నారు, బిఫోర్ యూ గ్రో ఓల్డ్, children like you who are in the early stages of developing physically can look to the next 50, 60 years and think maybe a holiday into space is possible. అలా ఆలోచిస్తున్నారు ఇప్పుడు. So you start saving money so that you can buy the ticket and go to space safely. Kada? We used to write storybooks about traveling somewhere. In the 1800s, so we are talking 250 years ago or 270 years ago, there were writers in Europe who wrote stories saying humans went to the moon. And you know what? 100 years later, humans really landed on the moon. 1969, the first human stepped on the moon, right? Neil Armstrong.
Yes.
And along with him was Buzz Aldrin. The third person, 3 people went on that mission, Apollo mission. One guy was still orbiting the moon or staying there so that the other 2 can go down and walk on the moon. Neil Armstrong and also Buzz Aldrin, right? The third person who did not get a chance to step on the moon but was in the atmosphere of the moon, he died just 10 days ago, I think. Yeah. Now many countries are talking of going to the moon with humans. India already sent a few rovers to the moon, couple of them. And India is talking about sending a human. China is talking of it. France is thinking of it. But I'm saying, before you grow very old, maybe you'll have a chance to buy a ticket for a weekend in space. Then you won't bother so much about flying cars.
Yeah.
Kada? Yes. Aditya, we had someone else saying hello, I think. You're on mute, Aditya.
We also have Ritvi Raj online. I'm adding Ritvi Raj now to the stage. Hello, Ritvik Raj. How are you?
Fine,
Hello,
sir.
Ritvik
How
Raj.
are you, sir?
We're very
Ritvik,
good.
a pleasure to see you. And I saw your performance as Subhash Chandra Bose for the Indian Independence Day. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, tell me, Ritvik.
So my question is there a possibility that there is life in any other planet in the Milky Way galaxy?
It is something that we don't know about, but we can do some thinking about it, isn't it? The
Yes, sir.
thinking that we can do about it is life special? Is life on Earth special? For a long time, people who were thinking about these questions kept saying, God made the universe, we are special, God created us, and all the animals around us. For people
Yes, sir.
thinking like that, the only place where life is possible is the earth, because they did not even know about the rest of the universe, isn't it? If you were
Yes, sir.
living 2000 years ago, you could hardly see anything in the sky. You and I, we are wearing spectacles, so we see slightly better. People with telescopes, they can see far away things even better than people like us. But 2000 years ago, the shepherds who were looking at the sky had no way of knowing how big the universe was, what it is made of, and so on. So they thought
Yes, sir.
this is special, right? Now, what do we know today with telescopes, with knowledge, with the kind of tracking of the universe we are doing, and the examining of our earth and of life? We find that life is really a result of chemistry. Kada.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
some things happen, and over a long period of time, those things become conscious about themselves. Now, did it happen in one lifetime of the human? No. Did it happen
Many.
over millions of years? How many millions of years? Hundreds of millions of years. Now, the earth is 500 crore years old, which means what? 5,000 million years old. Now, we know because of experiments done in the laboratory that if you put a bit of ammonia, a bit of nitrogen, a bit of oxygen in a flask, and then you put electricity charge through it, something called amino acids came. Now, in biology, in your school lessons, you will learn that amino acids are the building blocks of proteins. Proteins are the building block of life as we know it. And this is life which is based on the element carbon. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Carbon based life is dependent on amino acids which form proteins, which are the basis of life. If the earth is not special, if no God sat down and made the earth a special place, if it is because of chemistry, wherever we have oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, wherever there are electric charges, where there is carbon, like conditions that were there 350 million, 350 crore years ago, 3,500 million years ago, maybe amino acids will be formed. How do we know? We know because a great scientist like Oparin, in a flask, he put ammonium, carbon dioxide, oxygen, he put some electric charge, and there were amino acids. Here there was no God. It was just oparin, a flask, electricity, and these things. So our question now, your question, in our Milky Way galaxy, can there be life? If these
Yes, sir.
conditions are there, carbon-based life is possible. Is other life possible which does not have a carbon base but has, I don't know, iron base or calcium based or phosphorus based? We can imagine these things, but we have not seen it yet anywhere. But I think you're not curious only about life, you're curious about intelligent life, isn't it? There can be
Yes.
a bacterium somewhere. There are people who have very strong theories which say some stones, rocks, either when there was a great collision in Mars, so great that rocks from that planet flew around the universe, some of them fell on the earth. And these Martian
Correct.
rocks, rocks from Mars, Martian rocks, they say have what look like bacteria which became fossils. When life, some kinds of life, in certain circumstances, does not decay but is preserved. And many people are of the opinion some of the rocks on the earth are not from the earth's lava, the earth, but they must have been deposited here because a comet was passing by, a meteorite landed without burning up, or rocks from Mars came not because of aliens, some collision somewhere, and that big crash into Mars let some stones fall on the earth. On those stones, which look like not earthly stones, rocks, some hints of life have been seen. So we can say maybe there is life, though we don't have solid proof. Now, coming back to what I was interpreting your question as, there may be life, but is it intelligent life? Now, we can also ask the naughty question, is there intelligent life on earth? Because there are so many stupid people on earth. By intelligent, what we mean here is life that is self-aware, life that can think, that can examine, and so on. Now, how will we know
Yes,
this? Very, very difficult. Almost impossible. Because the fastest thing we know is the speed of light. Speed of light is 300,000 kilometers per second. If we travel at 300,000 kilometers per second, our nearest star is 4 years away. There are 60 seconds in a minute, there are 60 minutes in an hour, there are 24 hours in a day, there are 365 days in a year, and 4 such years where every second you have to travel at the impossible speed, which is possible only for light, not for humans or other particles, for 4 years, right? So What does it
Yeah.
mean? It means if we send a signal to our nearest star, it takes 4 years for this signal to travel. If it is such a powerful signal that can travel that distance, it takes 4 years to reach the other side. And if they recognize something, let's say they understood some intelligent group is contacting us and they are smart enough to understand it and they respond, 4 more years. So let us say you are in grade 3, you are in age 8 years of age, and you are in third class, and you send a message saying, hello, hello. By the time it goes there, 4 years have passed, you are in your seventh grade. Just by the time they hear what you said, they say, wow, Ritvik is saying hello to us. Let's say hello back to Ritvik. And they said, hi, Ritvik. And Ritvik will be in intermediate first year by the time that comes back. Which means communication is impossible almost. If there is life, we won't know. If there was life, for example, on our nearest planetary system around the star Proxima Centauri, if they sent us a signal 75,000 years ago through a satellite of their own, because it takes 75,000 years for any physical object at the speeds that humans have achieved with their satellites before they tell us anything. So you will not know, I will not know, not in our lifetime, and probably not in the lifetime of our civilization. But that possibility is there. Because it's chemistry, those conditions. And scientists have found that not in Proxima Centauri, not in the closest stars, but in distant stars, there are some Earth-like planets. Maybe there is,
Yes.
but we'll never know. And like I said to you, the doubts are, is there intelligent life on Earth? Forget other parts of the world, because people are so stupid. Not everyone. Everyone who refuses to let knowledge guide their understanding of things, everyone who rejects knowledge, everyone who says knowledge is not important is stupid. And there are many of them around us. So let's make those people more intelligent.
Thank you, Rutvik, for joining online. Sir, we have one more person waiting. Just 1 second. Geetanshi Rao. Hello, Geetanshi Rao Garu. Do you have a kid who would want to ask a question to BG, sir? Geetanshi Rao Garu?
He's on mute.
Yes. Okay, that's fine. So, friends, I just want to remind everyone today's show is only for children aged 5 to 17 because I see other people who are interested to join. But today is not the show for adults. We do have many other programs, Ask BG, that we do very regularly. Please do join in those sessions. But today's session, let it keep exclusively for kids. Sir, you've said a lot of stories to kids through your Big Question series. Okay, and I'm a fond person for that series that you made.
Thank you.
And you have explained us about Sulawesi cave paintings and Lascaux cave paintings. And recently you visited an interesting place which you call it as your pilgrimage. So I'm very interested to know about the place that you have been in Western Australia and Pilbara region, and what have you found there that is different to Lascaux or the caves in Spain or in Indonesia?
Thank you for asking that. I must first inform friends that you spent a few days with us here in Melbourne. Aditya, you traveled 3,300 kilometers each way, 7,000 kilometers nearly. And you gave us the pleasure of staying with us for a few days and feeding us with your amazing skills as a chef. Now, of course, you are a high ranking official in the government in the state of Western Australia, but you started your high funda career as a television celebrity chef, and we had that pleasure of having you, and I had the pleasure of visiting you in Perth on my way further on in Western Australia. And you're talking about the region called Pilbara. Pilbara is a region in Western Australia, which is a state roughly 60% the size of India, just one state, that size. And that state has only 30 lakh people as population. That's all. In this state, while I went for business purposes, I took the opportunity to go to a special place. Why is this place special? Let me tell you. For a long time, humanity thought that there was nothing as art and civilization in the distant past. As I showed and explained and illustrated in the Big Question series, 80,000 years prior to now, already in what is today South Africa, there were found bones on which there were carvings which indicate knowledge of mathematics. One carving, next to it, two carvings, next to it, four carvings, next to it, 8. 1, 2, 4, 8. That's a multiplication table. Now, on some bones, 29 marks are there, which is the phases of the moon. 29 phases. Those marks, some of them are partial circles, one of them is a full circle. So this is the oldest observational art, sculpture, or science that we know about humanity. 80,000 years ago. Now, all our religions are the oldest religions. The oldest religions that we have today really are 5,000 years old, 6,000 years old. We're talking 80,000 years ago. After that, if you keep looking at various signs of civilization, I think some of you in India may know that in Madhya Pradesh, there are some drawings and paintings on rocks in Madhya Pradesh. These must be around, it's not clear, around 10,000 years to 15,000 years old. Sometime 40 or 50 years ago, people were fascinated by what was found a few decades prior to that in Spain, about which things started becoming very public. In Spain, Altamira caves, there are cave paintings on the roofs of the caves. Fascinatingly, artistically, well-executed depictions, and these of bulls and animals of the time were discovered by accident. Then something extraordinary in the caves of Lascaux in France. What they found in Lascaux caves in France was on one particular day, which is by today's calendar, 21st of June, light rays went deep into a cave only on that particular day. You know, we talk of Arasavelli temple, where the light of the sun rays reaches the feet of an idol on a specific day. This temple is 800 years old or 1000 years old, something. We now know that the cave in south of France, Lascaux, was 25,000 years ago. Humans 25,000 years ago observed that light rays were going into a particular cave only once in a year. No modern calendar existed. And then, when they looked around, that was just an ordinary cave. It had pictures or drawings of elephant-like characters, humans in action, humans having sex. You had humans hunting. These were all paintings and drawings in the cave. Now, when scientists started analyzing these, what they found is an extraordinary thing. The caves of Lascaux, where the paintings were done, between the first painting and the last painting, they were 7,000 years. What does that tell us? It tells us that there was a civilization there which maintained this special place for 7,000 years. Painting, looking after the place. We are talking humans live 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, at most 35 years. Over 7,000 years, thousands of generations of humans were living around the cave, were doing things around the cave, in the cave, painting, drawing, and then painting over it, and so on. So I was really fascinated when I was doing my show by how all this developed, and I did some research. We know that the caves of south of France are 25,000 years old, the oldest. The youngest of the paintings are 18,000 years. The paintings of the bulls, fascinating paintings in Spain, Altamira, they are 35,000 years old. And then, after I finished the show, I finished the 29 episodes of The Big Question, which are available in Indian Humanists YouTube channel for free. News came of Sulawesi. Sulawesi is an island in the thousands of islands of Indonesia. This is one. And in Sulawesi, they found about 40 to 45,000 year old drawings in caves. And that was fascinating. I wanted to go and visit. I went as far as Singapore. From Singapore, I wanted to go to Cambodia and to Indonesia, to Sulawesi. And then I was told that Sulawesi is full of pirates and people generally get kidnapped. So I had to change my plan. I will still do it, but it has to be with the help and support of the police and government. So I'm very fascinated by the earliest demonstration, evidence of the creativity of humans. That's 45,000 years ago. And then we come to the story of the Pilbara region. All the pictures that Aditya you are showing are the pictures of stones in Pilbara. Those small stones, rocks, they're not broken by humans. It is geological activity over hundreds of millions of years that the rocks broke into small pieces. 1 million rocks like that. You know what the fascinating thing about this is? That there are 1 million such drawings and carvings there. So I am sure that as we keep digging the past, examining it, finding new things, we will find things even older than this. But what you young friends are seeing on the screen are the oldest artistic depictions that humans have ever made. And they are over 50,000 years old. This is the oldest paintings, drawings, sculpture created by humans. Those humans are our ancestors. Don't think your ancestors are only those who are your great 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 grandfathers. The earliest humans were the ancestors of all humans later, right? So these are extended grandparents for all of us. Something more interesting for the Indians. Who were the first humans who went to Australia? The first humans who went to Australia are actually from what is today's India. Not in one day, not in 100 years, but over a few thousand years. How did that happen? The earliest humans we trace to Africa, East Africa. These stories I already told in the big question. Raallu cheppe kathalu, Akasam kadalu, calendar kadalu. The first humans who were able to bottle water, Sorakaya, Anapakaya, bottle gourd. They were able to empty it and dry it, so it became like a bottle. They filled the water in the bottle, which means you don't have to come back to a lake. You have water in you, in your hand. You can walk. You don't have to return. You can continue. Wherever you find a water source, fill your bottle. In Big Question, I showed that these flasks of vegetable bottles also had holes to the sides, which means they took a plant, a vine, a long creeper, and they put the creeper through the holes, which meant that you had a bottle with a string that you could use to hang it by your shoulder. So you had a shoulder bottle, and they traveled like that, and they came all the way up to India. From India, 70, 80,000 years ago, some of the people living in India radiated into what is today's China, Russia, Europe. This is not a definitive story. Some people, it is now understood, also went directly from Africa to Europe. But the ones in India, today's India, migrated to all the way up to Indonesia, and this was all before the melting of the ice brought up the water up. What does that mean? That means between Indonesia and Australia, the ocean was not so deep people could walk. So the earliest people who came to Australia, all of us are from Africa, of course, but are the ones who migrated from India. Now look at those drawings, those etchings, petroglyphs, which show what they have been observing, eating, hunting over 50,000 years old. Maybe they liked them, maybe they saw these creatures around them, maybe some of them are already extinct, but they captured life around them. So for all the children who are watching this, why I thought it was a pilgrimage is I consider all of humanity as my family and the earliest humans as my ancestors, and my ancestors drew these things. So I went there to appreciate, to admire, and to pay tribute to them. Of course, let me be also direct about things. Aditya, I think there was a break. You're on mute, Aditya.
Sorry, sir. Please continue.
Okay, so about 50,000 years ago, or maybe 60, who knows clearly, but that old, we can see that these people drew these things. 35,000 years ago, look at what they did in Altamira in Spain. Very sophisticated. This is not very sophisticated. This is the earliest. And look at what they did in the caves of Lascaux 25,000 years ago. Fantastic. In those caves of Europe, you will see 3D drawings. If you move your head fast, you will see as if it is a motion picture drawings. You know, when you have reels and you make animation, you have the same picture with small variations, and when you play them fast, it looks like the object is moving. They had those things in the European paintings. When Pablo Picasso, that great, nasty man, but great artist, when he was taken into these caves, he said, we are under the illusion that modernist paintings were invented by modern humans. They were already done 25,000 years ago. So if anybody is near Perth, in Western Australia, from there to Karratha. Karratha is the town closest, which is about 2,000 kilometers away from Perth. You should take the opportunity to visit it. You'll probably spend 2-3 hours there. There are also guided tours. You can do that. Then you'll get the chance to look at the earliest great artistic achievements of minds which are not as developed as ours, of techniques which are not as developed. Don't take them to be superior to us, but look at it as how we started. And from there, we came to where we are. That's the story of the Pilbara. Aditya, I can tell you that that region is full of iron ore. The land is reddish brown. Everyone tells us that Mars, planet Mars, is red because of all the hematite, the iron content in the ground in the soil there. I imagine if you were on Mars and you looked on at the Earth, that region will look red. And you can travel 250 kilometers, 500 kilometers in that region without seeing a single animal. Non-human animal, I mean. I was in a car which went 250 kilometers. On either side of the beautiful road, trees and termite mounds, but not one single bird or animal. We just keep driving, that's it. There are clouds sometimes. There is either stark ground, brown, or there is termite mounds and trees. And that's it.
If you have
I don't
visited
know.
during the summer, you would have a lot of flies going around. I
I
hope
was
that you had some.
scared. I was scared that that would be the fate. But the season I went there was very good to us.
I hope you got a chance to look at the skies, beautiful skies from Western Australia as
Absolutely.
well, along with the
Absolutely.
land itself here. So
Absolutely.
we do have Ritvik Raj joining us again. I think Ritvik Raj has got one more question. I would want to allow him to ask a question if you don't mind, please. Oh, he just left. Geetan Shirav garu is still waiting. Geetan Shirav garu, have you sorted your mic ande? Would you like to ask a question?
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ సార్.
Good morning.
నా క్వశ్చన్ మీతో ఏంటంటే నా ఫ్రెండ్స్ ముందు అడిగేవాళ్ళు నాతో దాట్ వెదర్ యూ బిలీవ్ ఇన్ గాడ్స్ ఆర్ నాట్. సో సో నా ఆన్సర్ వాళ్ళకి ఏంటంటే నేను గాడ్స్ని బిలీవ్ చేయను. సో వాళ్ళు నాతో మళ్ళీ అడిగేవాళ్ళు వై డోంట్ యూ బిలీవ్ ఇన్ గాడ్స్. అప్పుడు నా దగ్గర ప్రాపర్ ఆన్సర్ ఉండేది కాదు. నా ఆన్సర్ ఏంటంటే గాడ్స్ ఎగ్జిస్ట్ ఉండుంటే మన ముందు లైక్ దే వుడ్ అపియర్ బట్ దే ఆర్ నాట్. సో నాతో మీతో ఏమడగానంటే నాకు ఒక ప్రాపర్ ఆన్సర్ కావాలి ఫర్ దట్ క్వశ్చన్.
నువ్వు ఆల్రెడీ మంచి ఆన్సర్ ఇచ్చావమ్మా. టు బిలీవ్ ఇన్ సంథింగ్ యూ షుడ్ సీ ద పర్సన్ ఆర్ దట్ థింగ్, ఆర్ యూ షుడ్ హ్యావ్ సిగ్నల్స్ దట్ దట్ పర్సన్ ఆర్ థింగ్ ఎగ్జిస్ట్, isn't it?
ఎస్ సార్.
So you said, if God were there, I would see it. If I don't see it, you would see it. If you don't see it, your grandfather would have seen it. Or
Yes, sir.
one of the 800 crore humans on earth currently alive, one of them would have seen it. Not simply saying, I saw it. There must be proof that you saw it. So our answer really is, I don't believe because I don't see. You can return the question and say, do you believe dinosaurs exist on the earth today? What would
Yes,
their
sir.
answer be? Their answer would be, no, I don't. You can ask them, why don't you believe? They will say, are you crazy or what? We can't see any dinosaur. Apply the same logic, you can invite them to the question of God, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
It is a curious thing. People want to believe what they have been told is the truth without any evidence, because parents have said it, society has told them. But it cannot be your lifetime's task to convince them that there is no God. It's for them. If their life is around God, too bad. The problem comes when they bring the God into public life, into schools, into colleges, into politics. Then that becomes dangerous. But feel confident that you're thinking right. Why don't I believe in a God? Because I don't believe there is a God that exists. You can also ask them, can you define God? Because different people have a different concept of God, right? So
Yes.
there are some half intelligent people who will tell us, no, I don't believe in a God like Rama, Krishna, or Allah or anybody. I believe in a God that is energy, Shakti, right?
Yes, sir.
So, my simple question to such people is, okay, you believe in energy. Why are you not calling energy energy? Why did you give it the name God?
Yes, sir.
Simple, isn't it? Because they want to believe in a God. You see that point? There is a need for people. Where does that need come from? That need comes from a very primary question. How did all this happen? We must know that saying God has never answered the question, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
How the universe came about came from the Big Bang Theory, not the Bible, not the Vedas, not the Quran, or any other holy book. It came from observing the universe, which was rapidly expanding. Now, if Professor Hubble and the others had not observed these things, it wouldn't have come. It's not because a rishi, a prophet, or whoever else, agent of God, observed it. It's science, scientists. So sometimes it is because these people have a need to believe. We can't help them.
Yes, sir.
Somehow or the other, they want a God. So they have a God. To appear modern, they keep telling you, no, 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 I believe in energy. As I said to you, if you say
Yes, sir.
energy, how do you measure that energy? What is the measurement for it? How do you know it exists? Where are the signs? Heat is a form of energy. Light is a form of energy. We know how to measure it. In some cases, we know how to store energy.
Yes, sir.
When you say energy, tell me what you mean by it. What are its characteristics? If you say, I believe in a God, tell me what is the nature of this God, the appearance of this God. See, every object has rangu, ruchi, vasana, kada.
Yes, sir.
ఏ రంగులో అంటారు, రుచి చూస్తే ఎలా ఉంటుంది, వాసన వస్తే ఎలా ఉంటుంది. ఆల్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ వి డిస్క్రైబ్, వి స్టార్ట్ బై దట్ అండ్
Yes,
దెన్ వి
sir.
గో. What is the function of this entity? Okay, there is God. What did this God do? Created the universe? Okay. So for someone to create the universe, that God should be outside the universe, right? You can't create what you're inside of. You have to create something outside you. So, what is that outside? Where is that God outside the universe? If the God is inside the universe, then he could not have, or she could not have, or it could not have created it.
Yes, sir.
And we can say, with today's knowledge is not small. 1,000 years ago, maybe 15, 20 people in a particular city or in a country were spending time thinking about these things. Today, we have millions of researchers, scientists, not one, two. In every city, town, there are scientists, doctors, people, physicists, chemists, biologists. Not all of them are doing a good job, but they are able to observe, interpret, and understand, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
These millions of people have given us enough information which lets us explain this universe without the need for a God. Why do you need God? To explain creation. The moment you say this is creation, you will look for a creator. మనము సృష్టి అంటే సృష్టికర్త ఎవరు అని వెతుక్కుంటాము. If we say there is creation, we will look for a creator. Supposing we say the universe, we are not getting into that trap of now looking for somebody great. The universe is self-created. The explanation for that is within the laws of the universe. For a Sutli bomb or a Lakshmi bomb, if you are interested in Diwali crackers, you need to light an agarbatti and take that to the bomb and light the wick. The wick catches the sparks and takes it to the explosive, and then it explodes. That's how you do it with a bomb. The Diwali crackers.
Yes.
Now, there is this question. Okay, I agree with the Big Bang, but who started it? The word Big Bang is creating in our mind a bomb, right? It exploded.
Yes, sir.
But it may not have been like that. It must have been a massive expansion. But the word has taken root in people's vocabulary. And in translation also, we say Mahavispotanamu in Telugu. But it may not have exactly happened like a Diwali cracker. There are 100 million examples of stars exploding. So I'm not discounting the word Big Bang, but the universe may not have started with a loud sound and like a bomb. That's what I'm saying. Who started the Big Bang? In their mind, somebody from outside should take an agarbatti and blow up the universe, which is the Big Bang. But no, as Stephen Hawking explained, the universe has within itself the properties which will make the Big Bang happen. So you don't need an external force to do it. And as I was explaining, a creator has to be outside the universe. So we reverse the question and we say, where was that God before the universe was created? They keep saying, asking questions. They say, what happened before Big Bang? What was there before Big Bang? Science is not able to answer that question because it's a wrong question. The idea of before starts with the universe. Time is a property of matter, which means the question which has before in it has no meaning because there is no before. When you talk of the universe, before and after is within the universe, not outside the universe. Depending on how much your friends are willing to dialogue with you,
Yes,
you
sir.
could write some of this as information. But it's good. The basis for anything, for belief of about anything, is that there should be proof for it.
Yes,
If
sir.
there's no proof, it's a speculation, it's a theory, it's a hypothesis. If it's a hypothesis, then there should be a way of proving what you have said. So the burden of proof is not on you or me.
Yes,
The
sir.
burden of proof is on them. They said there is God. Now,
Yes.
if I tell you there is a God, and now they say, now you disprove it, what can we do? Now, Harish is saying something. God itself defines that. God is a person or thing or energy which created the universe and controls the movement of universe and life. What a very clever, logicless explanation believers give. Replace God in that sentence, replace God by universe. Universe itself defines itself. Universe is a thing or energy which created itself. Solved. Because God is meaningless, you can put God wherever you want and say that explains, right? So I just replaced the word God by the word universe. The difference is universe exists, God does not.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Amma?
థ్యాంక్స్ గీతాంజలి గారు. థ్యాంక్స్ అండి, థ్యాంక్స్ ఫర్ జాయినింగ్.
Thank you so much, sir.
Bye bye. Sir, just want to respond to, I want to respond to a couple of comments. So Vamshi K is asking, astrologers claim that they discovered the planets way before science has evolved. In one of your videos, you said those planets are visible, but I have not seen any planet with the naked eye. సార్, ఆ ప్లానెట్స్ గురించి చెప్పేది రాహు, కేతు అనుకునే ప్లానెట్స్ గురించి అండి. సూర్యుడు అనే గ్రహం గురించి అండి. సూర్యుడు అని మన స్టార్స్ అని తెలుసు, కానీ గ్రహం అనేది లేదు కదా. సో just get your basics right before you write these things. And again, thanks for replying to the recent
Can I add to what Vamshi
Yes,
said?
please.
Vamshi, మీరు పని చేయండి. I hope you have a good mobile phone, a smartphone. Go to Play Store, Google Play Store, if you're using Android, and look for sky map applications. Sky mapping.
Also Star Tracker. Yeah.
Sorry?
Star Tracker.
Star Tracker. You download that, okay? Now go far away from the city so that there is not too much light pollution, or go onto your terrace at a time when there is no electricity or the lights are off. Switch it on, and then you will see names associated with the different points of light in the sky. Now, you did not see any planets because you don't know what is a planet in that thousands of light sparks there. You need some guidance. You need somebody who knows the sky, who can tell you. And this app that I'm referring to can help you. You put that in your hand and you see what is there in the sky. It will say Venus here. Now, it cannot be that you didn't see Venus. If you can't see Venus, then get yourself spectacles. That means there is a problem with the eyesight. Maybe you could not spot it and identify it. For that, you need this. The ancients could obviously see the sun and the moon without trouble. They also saw Mercury, Venus, they saw Mars, they saw Jupiter, they saw Saturn. You could not see it because you did not know to identify it. Take this help or of an astronomer who probably is at the university or amongst your friends. Go to the Birla Center, Birla Science Center, Planetarium. A member of the BG group, an active member, is Ravi Raja. And Ravi Raja can guide you with these things. Now, as Aditya said, and I'll just add to that, 9 planets is not what they know of. They know of Sun as a planet, Earth as a planet, but they never called it a planet because that's where they lived. The moon as a planet, which it is not. The sun is not a planet. And then the other planets I mentioned. Then they said Rahu, Ketu. Sun is a star, moon is a satellite. Rahu doesn't exist, Ketu doesn't exist. Then they say they are shadow planets. So we say shadows of what? They don't have an answer. Then they say, why are you objecting to us calling sun a planet? Because the word graham does not mean planet, you know. The Sanskrit experts come. Matter over. Which means you don't even know the distinction between these two. You haven't correctly identified the solar system planets. Till science discovered in the 1800s and pointed to Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Whether we call Pluto planet or mini planet or whatever, the fact that it exists, these people did not know because they could not see. Navagrahalu of astrologers are not the Navagrahalu of science. Now it is no longer Nava, it is Asta, because we put Pluto out of the list of planets. Ask yourself, if the astrologers of ancient times were able to see the planets, name them, how has it helped anyone? What is the point of saying astrologers knew it? So what? They knew, so what? Let us accept for a while. Can they tell you when you'll get married? Can they tell you which party will win the elections? Can they tell you if some, I don't know, some business venture will work out or not? There you must be intelligent. You can't be so dumb to follow every astrologer who says, give me 5,000 rupees or 50,000 rupees. I will light some grass, you call it dharba or whatever. I'll pour some ghee in there. It's food. Consume it, but pour it there. I'll light some fires and I'll read some shlokas. And the planets which are 6 to 7 crore kilometers away are influenced because you said something in Sanskrit here. Are bhai, your neighbor can't hear your shloka unless you put a microphone. You think a planet 6 crore kilometers, 10 crore kilometers from here is able to listen to you? What is the mechanism by which you will influence? Vamshi has responded, think, use your intelligence, use your brain. Don't keep repeating what some fool says to you. Simple question. You can talk to a planet which is some crores of kilometers away, but to talk to your friend, you need a mobile phone. Why? Because your voice is not going there. Your voice doesn't go, your vibration doesn't reach. How can you change anything? You can't. These are stupid assertions made by people who are making money out of you. Out of a million astrologers, you can say, this astrologer does not take money. Okay. It doesn't make it right. It just means, for your ignorance, that man is not imposing a penalty on you. Simple as that. Yeah, Aditya.
Yes, sir. I've got a couple more comments which I want to respond. This is Tarun Kumar asking, hi, Babu Gogneni, sir. When I was in my 9th, 10th class, I used to like you and your videos. I really like the way you speak and debate. You are one of the rational person, but I expect to debate on veganism. Sorry, Tarun Garu, this is not a platform where I would allow you to debate BG, sir. And if you want to organize one, BG sir many times have said that you create such big platform for him to participate, and you can take care of all the other errands that required to organize this, and then he can debate. But this is not the platform. I'm so sorry. And other people who are asking how they can join, there's a link that is pinned under the comment section. Please click the link and you can join. Nutana's World were asking, are these foils? I think they were asking this question referring to those drawings on rocks that you are showing. No, indeed, those drawings are different to fossils. Fossils ante organic matter bhoomi lopala poralla undipoyi. When the minerals take the place of those organic material, that's how the fossils are formed. So fossils are different to what BG sir was talking today, the rock paintings in Pilbara region. Pratap, this is for you, sir. Probably I'll leave this for you to answer. My kids, Pratap Kasapogu was asking, my kids are asking me about religion. What is caste? What we are? Why is discrimination? Who started this? That they have a lot of questions in, I think, in their mind, sir. Would you want to
This
respond,
is
sir, please?
perfect, Andy, Pratap Garu. And please encourage and support your children to ask these questions. Whenever a child asks a question where we can give an answer, we should, surely. Where we don't have an answer, we must encourage the child to find the answer. Where there is a social problem like discrimination, we must discuss with the children what we ourselves in our generation are doing to address it and invite them to contribute their efforts also to make the world a better place. First, I'll go to only referring to the question from Tarun about veganism. Now, I think an important thing to understand is to look at our teeth. Look at your teeth. Then go and look at the teeth of a cow or a goat. We have teeth which are canine teeth. Look at the molars. The human body is made the way it is made because we are born to be eating what we today call vegetarian and non-vegetarian. This is number one. There's a lot of bloody nonsense on the internet telling us lies that the human digestive system cannot digest meat. Now, this is why do I say it's bloody nonsense? Is because they have brought in a moral judgment into a scientific fact discussion. It is a fact that protein, animal protein, is very accessible to the human body through digestion, absorption. That is a fact. It is also a fact that herbivores do not have a proper protein source unless they eat 100 times of vegetables or vegetation compared to the humans. Because there's hardly any protein in most of the plants, leaves, and so on. It is only because humans started getting more meat into their diet that this protein helped develop the brain. It's only because of extra protein available that the human brain developed. Suddenly, if the brain has developed so much, your or my generation says, let's not eat meat. It doesn't mean our children will have smaller brains. These are evolutionary mechanisms. They happen over time, millions of years. So the effect is not immediately seen. But the easy availability of protein, the full range of protein of amino acids, is what has helped us come to where we have come. Now about veganism. Unless vegans are doing it like religious propaganda, that is why they want debates. They should have a discussion. Discussion is good because we can then examine things. We can compare notes. We can understand what is happening. Newly convert people become extra fanatic. So somebody who was eating meat for 20 years, 15 years, suddenly becomes vegan, discovers the horrible practice of meat eating and starts becoming like an evangelical Christian, trying to convince everyone about their newfound faith. Shouldn't be like that. Because as I said, the human body is made to eat meat, full stop. The human development, such as we see and appreciate, is because of the bioavailability of proteins. Now, humans are created to believe in a particular set of values because that society promotes those. And therefore, the taking of life is considered wrong. As I breathe, I have taken in bacterium. They are dying in my lungs. When I eat a plant, which is what vegans do, they are killing animals, life. Animals are sentient beings. While the process is the same, that you're killing life, you're killing a sentient being, and that requires a question. Should we do it? That becomes an ethical question. That becomes an ethical question where you decide for yourself, not for others. Should you eat meat at all? Should you eat it regularly? Should it be banned from a place of prayer? As if gods are vegetarian. Should you stop its sale on Independence Day like some fool decision makers did it in Hyderabad just for this Independence Day? Or on 2nd of October because Gandhiji did not eat meat. Gandhiji did not eat meat, therefore I should not eat on his birthday. He's not even my grandfather in a real sense, or living in my house, that I should say, okay, that's his sentiment in the house, so let's not. These are misplaced policy decisions, but they are not misplaced as personal decisions. You can decide not to eat, and that should be all right.
We
I'm
have a
my
lot of
sorry.
I just want to encourage Tarun Garu that there's a lot of discussions and debate that happen in the BG group. They're more than welcome to check those things. I'm sure you'll have a better idea about it. I just want to take the callers who are on live, if you don't mind, sir.
Can I just simply, in 2 lines, finish the question about discrimination, caste, and so on?
Yep.
It's very important to have open discussions with our children about what is not right in society. Not because we can, in our own lifetime, change it completely. Look, problems in society, in civilization, have accumulated, Pratap Garu, over thousands of years. Caste is one such thing. If we understand first we must understand that it is a problem. Now, if a government like government of Andhra Pradesh, government of Telangana has started creating corporations for one particular caste and another, when that group is not a disadvantaged group. If he said, I have a commission for Dalits, I have a commission for backward castes, their name is telling us. Scheduled castes are in a schedule of tribes and castes which are not well integrated in society. Backward castes are backward because they have not been allowed to participate fully in society. So there, having a commission, a corporation, a particular mechanism to support their growth is an important part of creating a better society. However, the moment you say, I'll create a Brahmin corporation, create a Kamma corporation, for sections of society which are not backward in the way the oppressed sections of society are. There'll be rich people and poor people everywhere. You can show me a poor Brahmin, I can show you a rich Jagjivan Ram. Dr. Ambedkar was rich also. It means nothing. Those are individual examples. We have to discuss with our children that particularly in South Asian society, exploitation of people based on their origins, caste, based on their occupation and the wealth and resources they have, which could be around class, which is what Marxists, today's socialist theoreticians still talk about, caste, class. It could be about oppression of women because there is discrimination based on gender. It is neglect of old people because there is ageism. It could be attacking those who are not clearly male or female because they feel that their biological sex is not how they see their gender to be. They were born with parts of body, secondary sexual characteristics, primary sexual characteristics, which will assign them to a particular sex, male or female. But someone born and identified by doctors as male sex may be feeling more like how women are. You let people decide who they want to be and don't punish them for it. Support them in their celebration of their identity because there is no violence involved in it. That could apply for people who say they are homosexual or bisexual, or for the women, lesbians, and so on. These are discussions we need to have because we want the contribution of children to make the world better than when they entered it.
Yes, sir.
So this is what we should do. Aditya, you asked me that there were other people. If there's anybody new who is waiting in the line, let's address, and then we will invite Ritvik to.
Yeah, Pratap Gar is online, Andy, but I've already texted him. Pratap Garu, your device is not connected properly. At least your mic or video, one of it has to be connected. So that's why I'm taking Ritvik. Ritvik, do you have a question
Welcome back,
again?
Ritvik.
Ritvik, welcome back.
Thank you, sir. Sorry, sir. Last time I got disconnected accidentally.
No problem.
What question
So
do you
my
have?
question is, are the telescope Voyager 1 and 2 still sending information to us? Satellites. Why are they
Is there a
launched?
question? Is there a question?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. Voyager
Are
1 has
Voyager
been
1?
traveling for 48 years. Voyager 1, somewhere around 1972, I think, or no, late 70s, whenever in the 70s it was sent. It traveled so far by human standards, right?
Yes, sir.
But not far enough by cosmic standards because it has not traveled at a speed and a distance which will let us go closer to another star. And when it sends us a message, it takes a day for the message to reach us.
And sir, what kind of information do they send us? Sir?
It depends. Radio signals carry information which could be visual. If there is something else that they're measuring in space, then it would tell us those. For example, if there are gases in the space, it's unlikely, but who knows? Because maybe the probe, it is probing the universe, is going through patches of light. Maybe it is exposed to radio signals. Maybe it is exposed to gaseous concentrations. It will tell us what it is going through.
Thanks,
And one
Ritvik, for
thing we
joining
should
us.
know, if we try to get information from near space. You go 500 kilometers into space, just up. You go deep 20,000 kilometers if you're running a satellite channel, for example, satellite, not channel. You have less interference from other nuisance sources of radio signals, and supposing you are so far away from the earth, interference will be less, and that makes getting information, however patchy it might be, easier. Yeah, Aditya.
Thanks, Ritvik, for joining. So we've got Pratap Garu on live. Hello, Pratap. Hello, Pratap Garu. Can you hear us?
While he puts his microphone on
Kindly unmute, and Pratap Garu.
active, I think I just want to acknowledge that Ritvik
Hello.
is a child
Hello.
of a very
Good
active
afternoon, sir.
member. He's an active member of our group, Chaitanya Gandikota, and
Hello.
he sends information to us frequently. And I want to thank Chaitanya Garu for how he's bringing up his child, curious, willing to think, able to ask questions, and try to find answers. This is great parenting, Chaitanya Garu. Please continue. And not only you, your spouse,
Hello.
and the other family members. Pratap
Sir,
Garu,
can you?
Pratap Garu, చెప్పండి.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
hello.
హలో అండి, చెప్పండి.
Sir, అదే sir. Actually, I want to ask that. అదే sir, ఇప్పుడు ఇందాక క్వశ్చన్ చేశాను కదా. పిల్లలకి
ప్రతాప్ గారు చెప్పండి.
there are a lot of questions in their mind. అంటే వాళ్ళు కూడా ఫేస్ చేస్తూనే ఉన్నారు స్కూల్లో. మీరు సో అండ్ సో యు ఆర్ బిలీవింగ్ సంథింగ్, మీరు పలానా. సో ఆ క్వశ్చన్స్ ఇప్పుడు నుంచి రేజ్ అవుతున్నాయి. ఈవెన్ స్కూల్ వాళ్ళు కూడా దే ఆర్ సపోర్టింగ్ దట్. ఇది
ఇప్పుడు తప్పకుండా మీ పిల్లలకి, మన పిల్లలకి మనమే సపోర్ట్ ఇవ్వాలి. ఇప్పుడు ముస్లిం పిల్లలు స్కూల్కి వెళ్తే హిందువులందరూ కలిసి ముస్లిం పిల్లల్ని ప్రశ్నలు వేయరు ఆ టీచర్లు. ఓకే, వీళ్ళ ఫెయిత్ ఇది అని ఊరుకుంటారు. సిమిలర్ థింగ్ ఫర్ క్రిస్టియన్ చిల్డ్రన్. వీ షుడ్ బ్రింగ్ ఇట్ టు ఎ సిచ్యువేషన్ వేర్ మన పిల్లల్ని, ఓహో వీళ్ళు మానవవాదులు, వీళ్ళు ఇది నమ్మరు, వీళ్ళు నమ్మేది వేరే ఉన్నాయి అని వాళ్ళు యాక్సెప్ట్ చేసేటట్టుగా మనం చేయాలి. దే సపోర్ట్ దెమ్ అంటే అది మనం సమ్మతించకూడదు. మనం వెళ్ళి దెబ్బలాటకు కాదు, క్లారిఫికేషన్ కోసం మనం వెళ్ళి ఆ టీచర్కో, ఆ క్లాస్మేట్సో, వాళ్ళ పేరెంట్స్కో మా ఆలోచన విధానం డిఫరెంట్గా ఉంది, మేము మీరు చెప్పేది నమ్మము, మీరు చేసేది మేము చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు అని మనం ఒకసారి చెప్పాలండి. మా అబ్బాయి స్కూల్కి వెళ్ళేటప్పుడు నేను వెళ్ళి టీచర్లకు చెప్పాను, మీరు ప్రేయర్ చేయించేటప్పుడు అందరితో పాటు రెస్పెక్ట్ఫుల్గా మా అబ్బాయి కూడా నుంచుంటాడు. 18వ ఏట వచ్చే వరకు వాడికి మేము మతం కానీ నాస్తికత్వం కానీ నూరిపోయాము. వాడు ఆలోచించుకునే వయసుకు వచ్చాక వాడి నిర్ణయం వాడు తీసుకుంటాడు అని. టీచర్లు ఆశ్చర్యపోయారు, కానీ తల్లిదండ్రుల హక్కు ఇదని వాళ్ళకు కూడా తెలుసు. సో ఎప్పుడూ కట్టడి చేయలేదు. అలాగే మీరు కూడా యాజ్ ఐ సే దెబ్బలాటకు కాదు, మేమెవరము అని మీకు చెప్పడానికి మేము వచ్చాము. ఈ కట్టడి, ఈ ఫోర్సు మీరు చేయకపోవటము న్యాయమని మీరు చెప్పాలి. ఇకపోతే మీరు అడిగారు కదా ప్రశ్నలు, మాకు తెలియదు కదా మీరు క్లాస్లో క్వశ్చన్ అడిగి మీరు వెళ్ళిపోయారని. 10 నిమిషాలు మేము ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసాం మీ క్వశ్చన్కి ఆన్సరు. ఇది యూట్యూబ్లో వెన్ ఇట్ బికమ్స్ అవైలబుల్ యూ కెన్ ప్లే ఇట్ అండి. రఫ్లీ 1 hour 40 minutesకి ఆ టైమ్ స్టాంప్ ఏరియాలో వీ స్టార్టెడ్ ఆన్సరింగ్ యూ, ఐ థింక్. అంటే ఒక 15 నిమిషాల ముందు. సో Please go back to that and listen along with your children. Your children should not be kept away from these discussions. సమాజంలో భిన్నమైన అభిప్రాయం కలగటం సమాజానికి వ్యతిరేకం కాదు. సమాజంలో మన ఒపీనియన్ మనం చెప్పటము అదేమి స్టబ్బర్నెస్ కాదు, అది మన హక్కు, న్యాచురల్గా జరగాల్సిందే. అండ్ తప్పకుండా ఎక్కడ అన్యాయం జరుగుతుందో అది అన్యాయం అని చెప్పే ధైర్యం మనకు కావాలి. కులం అన్నది వివక్షకి ఆధారం. నేను కులాన్ని నమ్ముతాను బట్ వివక్ష నేను సపోర్ట్ చేయను అంటాము పనికిరాని మాట. ఎందుకంటే కులమే వివక్ష. పుట్టుకతో మనకి ఒక వృత్తి వచ్చినా, ఒక ఆలోచన వచ్చినా, ఒక నమ్మకం వచ్చినా, దాన్ని మన మీద రుద్దినా ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ న్యాచురల్. దాన్ని మనం వ్యతిరేకించాలండి ప్రతాప్ గారు. బట్ గో బ్యాక్ టు ద టైమ్ పాయింట్ వేర్ వి డిస్కస్ యువర్ క్వశ్చన్. ఆదిత్య.
Surinder Garu wants to join, Andy, but again, you have a problem connecting your device properly. Please come back again with connecting your mic or video or both. Sir, why before we wait for someone else, as you mentioned, I had a privilege to meet you, and it was an honor to cook for you. And I cooked for you at my home, at your home, and also on the beach side on the barbecue. So we had good lunch, dinner, breakfast, and a lot of fun talking, discussing many things. And you took to me a special place in Melbourne, and you asked me not to Google or check about that place before we go there. So I did not, naturally, because you said it. Then when you took me there, I was amused by the experience that you gave me. That place is called Hepburn Springs. That will stay with me forever. Those memories, those flavors of what we did there will stay with me forever. So as you took me there, I also want you to take our viewers also to Melbourne Hepburns and explain what it is. I've got a video. Let me know if you want me to play the video first or you want to explain and then we play the video.
I'll just say something, then play the video, then we can discuss it. ఇప్పుడు ఆస్ట్రేలియా అన్న దేశము ఇట్స్ అ ఫ్యాసినేటింగ్ కంట్రీ. ఇట్స్ ఫ్యాసినేటింగ్ బై ద బ్యూటీ, ద రానెస్, ది అస్టానిషింగ్ స్కేల్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్స్. సో మనం ఓ 10,000 సంవత్సరాల పాటు నాగరికత ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ అయిన ఒక ఖండంలో బతకటం వేరు, యూరప్కి వెళ్ళటమో లేకపోతే ఇండియాలో ఉండటమో. రీసెంట్గానే సెటిల్ అయిన దేశాన్ని చూడటం వేరు. ఇప్పుడు 50,000, 65,000 ఏళ్ల క్రితం వయా భారతదేశం, థాయిలాండ్, ఇండోనేషియా ఈ దేశానికి మనుషులు రావటం వాస్తవమే, కానీ 250 ఏళ్ల నుండే ఇక్కడ సెటిల్మెంట్స్ అంటూ జరుగుతూ ఉన్నాయి. సో a lot of Australia is undiscovered or at least uncharted if we look into the history of the country until recently. So prati corner lonu, apart from the beauty, there'll be something special. సో మెల్బర్న్ నగరానికి కొంచెం దూరంలో వోల్కానిక్ యాక్టివిటీ బాగా ఉన్న ప్రదేశాలు. మేము ఆదిత్యాన్ని ఒక ప్లేస్కి తీసుకెళ్ళాము, అప్పటి చీకటి అయిపోయింది కాబట్టి we could not see the grand vision and views of that region. ఒకప్పుడు అగ్నిపర్వతాలు పేలి అక్కడ లావా స్పిల్ అయ్యి పారి కొన్ని స్పెషల్ షేప్స్లో అది సాలిడిఫై అయింది ఒకటి. ఈ వోల్కానిక్ రీజన్ ఇప్పుడు ఇట్స్ డెడ్ వోల్కానిక్ రీజన్, కానీ లోపల భూమి పొరల్లో కొన్ని అద్భుతాలు ఇంకా ఉంటూనే ఉంటాయి. మీరు ఇప్పుడు వీడియో ప్లే చేయండి, అప్పుడు మనం దాని గురించి చర్చిద్దాము. మెల్బర్న్ నగరానికి ఒక 40-50 కిలోమీటర్ల దూరంలో ఉంటుంది ఈ ప్రదేశం.
Okay, sir. I'll play the video now.
Please.
Due to a special place called Hepburn Springs. It's full of springs in this area. Further up, there are mining activities happening, but this volcanic region has something very special to offer us, Aditya. So here we are near is hand pump. So take the bottle
Okay.
and let me pump some water for you. I want you to taste it and tell me how it is. So this is water being drawn from the earth below. So it's a hand pump, as you know. There you go.
You brought me all the way of driving for 1.5 hours
Yes.
to taste this water.
Yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah.
Okay. So this should be special then.
It better be.
This is not water.
What
This
is
soda.
it? This is soda. Coming from where?
From the water. Is there a soda tank underneath?
No, it's from the earth.
Really?
And what does it taste like?
It's got elements of minerals I can taste. For me, it tastes more like a metal, as if it's coming from a metal pipe, old metal pipes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
And do you smell any element strongly there?
Maybe
Try it.
sodium bicarb.
Try it.
Sodium bicarb.
And sulfur? If you don't taste sulfur here, there's another spot where I'll make you taste sulfur. Let's go
No.
there.
Not sulfur, but there is
Let's go
sodium
there.
bicarb.
Let's go there.
Okay. Thank you for introducing this water to me. It's the first time for me to have a natural spring water with gas inside it.
This is one of the unique things we discovered here, Sahana and I
discovered.
Yes, in this state.
And I'm taking this water back to my state.
Perfect.
Thank you.
So this is the other one.
Okay.
You said there was no sulfur there.
No.
It's a challenge. Test this.
Okay. Same process. I'm
Enough,
pumping some
enough,
of the
enough.
water. Okay. And normally we go for honey tasting, cheese tasting, and wine tasting. But you brought me here to do a water tasting.
Water tasting with various minerals, right?
Okay. It reminds me of my chemistry lab.
So this is sulfur spring,
Mm.
and it's supposed to give you lots of good health. People
It's not
came
pleasant.
here to drink the water.
It's not pleasant to
Good
have
health
it.
is not pleasant.
And pleasant things are not healthy normally. But nice. It's a good
You can
thing to
throw out the
try.
water if you want.
No, I don't want this water. So you took me to this beautiful place, and then you let me taste water, which were tasting different. They look different, and they've got this effervescence of carbon dioxide inside it. That's a natural soda water that we can get from underground. It was really a refreshing thing for me to think about it, and also to think the flavors of it. ఇండియాలో తీర్థయాత్రలకు వెళ్తే జనాలు గంగా వాటరు యమునా వాటర్ అలా తెచ్చుకుంటారు. సో ఐ బ్రాట్ బాటిల్స్ ఆఫ్ వాటర్ ఫ్రమ్ మెల్బర్న్ ఆఫ్ దీస్ స్ప్రింగ్స్, మెల్బర్న్ స్ప్రింగ్స్. సో ఆఫ్ కోర్స్, బట్ యా, ఇట్ డిడ్ నాట్ టేస్ట్ యాజ్ fresh as what we tasted at the spring itself, but it was a great experience. I would encourage highly anyone, whoever is visiting Melbourne, just give a visit to Hepburn Springs. It is definitely a must visit. I can't stress more than this. It is a beautiful experience. Thank you, sir, for letting me taste this water.
Aditya, it's not like everybody thinks it's fantastic. I find it fascinating. ఇప్పుడు వోల్కానిక్ రాక్స్ ఉన్నాయి, వాన పడుతుంది, ఎక్కడి నుంచో నీళ్లు ప్రవహిస్తూ వస్తాయి. వోల్కానిక్ రాక్స్ అంటే ఏంటి? దాంట్లో స్పెషల్ మినరల్స్ ఉంటాయి. వాటి నుండి అది పాస్ అవుతున్నప్పుడు ఇట్ గ్యాదర్స్ సమ్ మినరల్స్ విత్ ఇట్. దారిలో ఎక్కడో సోడియం బైకార్బోనేట్ కూడా తగులుతుంది. ఈ కారణంగా కార్బన్ డయాక్సైడ్ రిలీజ్ అయ్యి నీళ్ళల్లో అది ఉబుకుతూ ఉంటుంది. మీరు దాన్ని హ్యాండ్ పంప్తో కొడితే పైకి వస్తుంది, మీకు సోడా లాగా ఉంటుంది. ఇదే ప్లేస్కి నేను మా చుట్టాలని తీసుకెళ్ళాను ఒకసారి. తీసుకెళ్తే సోడా కావాలంటే సూపర్ మార్కెట్లో దొరుకుతుంది కదా, ఇక్కడ దాకా ఎందుకు వచ్చాము. ఇప్పుడు దాని వెనుకున్న స్టోరీని మనం అప్రిషియేట్ చేయకపోతే ఇట్స్ సింప్లీ సోడా, రైట్? బట్ ఎక్కడో పడిన నీళ్ళు, కురిసిన నీళ్ళు, ఎక్కడి నుండో ప్రవహిస్తున్నవి, అంచెలంచెలుగా పొరలు పొరలుగా ఉన్న ఈ భూమిలోంచి పారుతూ ఇంకుతూ కిందకొచ్చి అక్కడ సోడియం బైకార్బోనేటు, మీరు రుచి చూసినట్టుగా సల్ఫరు, ఇవన్నీ ఆ కాంటాక్ట్లోకి వచ్చి అక్కడ కింద వెయిటింగ్ అనమాట ఫర్ అస్ టు డ్రింక్ ఇట్. మన కోసం ఎవరు యాడ్ చేయలేదు, ఉన్న చోటకి మనం వెళ్ళాం. అండ్ దెన్ వీ ఎక్స్ట్రాక్ట్ ద వాటర్. ఐ థింక్ ఇట్స్ ఎ గ్రేట్ ప్లెజర్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్సింగ్ దిస్. ఇదంతా ఎలా అంటే ఒక 160, 180 సంవత్సరాలకి పూర్వం, కొంచెం పైన, ఇక్కడే కాదు, ఇది డేల్స్ఫర్డ్ అనే నగరానికి దగ్గరలో ఉంటుంది. అక్కడే కొంచెం దూరంలో ఈ గోల్డ్, సిల్వరు ఎక్స్ట్రాక్షన్స్కి మైన్స్ తవ్వారనమాట. అప్పుడు వచ్చే వాటర్ డైరెక్షన్ని మార్చిన కారణంగా హెబ్బర్న్ స్ప్రింగ్స్ యొక్క సోర్స్ దెబ్బతిన్నది. అది గమనించి లోకల్ కౌన్సిల్స్ రెజల్యూషన్ పాస్ చేసి అటువంటి పనులు చేయటానికి లేదు, ఈ వాటర్ సోర్స్ని ఎటువంటి మెథడాలజీ వాడి డైవర్ట్ చేయకూడదు అని రిజాల్వ్ చేసి చట్టాన్ని తీసుకొచ్చారు. ఈ 150, 170 సంవత్సరాల నుంచి 180 సంవత్సరాల నుండి దట్ హెస్ బీన్ ప్రిజర్వ్డ్ లైక్ దట్. సో మీరేమో సల్ఫర్ వాటర్ టేస్ట్ చేశారు, మనం వీడియో తీసామో లేదో గుర్తులేదు, ఇంకొక సోడా స్ప్రింగ్ ఉంది, ప్యూర్ సోడా లాగా ఉంటుంది. జనాలు వచ్చేసి, అంటే మీరు బాటిల్ తీసుకెళ్లారు, జనాలు వచ్చేసి పీపాలు నింపుకెళ్తారు. ఉత్తర భారతదేశంలో కూడా కొన్ని ప్రాంతాల్లో ఈ హాట్ వాటర్ స్ప్రింగ్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా, ఏదైతే మనం న్యూజిలాండ్లో ఎక్కువ చూస్తామో. న్యూజిలాండ్లో బాయిలింగ్ మడ్ ఉంటుంది అక్కడ కింద వాటరు, అది దాని దగ్గరికి వెళ్తే మనకి సల్ఫర్ వాసన వస్తుంది. మీరు అన్నట్టుగా కెమిస్ట్రీ ల్యాబ్లో ఉన్నట్టు ఉంటుంది వాసన, అండ్ ఇట్స్ ఓవర్ పవరింగ్. న్యూజిలాండ్లో ఏంటి, చాలా తమాషా, ఎవడో ఎక్కడో ఇల్లు కట్టుకుంటాడు, ఈ స్పాట్ నాకు నచ్చిందని, ఈజ్ హ్యాపీలీ లివింగ్ దేర్. సడన్గా బెడ్రూమ్లోనో కిచెన్లోనో కింద నుంచి బాయిలింగ్ మడ్ వస్తుంది పైకి. యూ కాంట్ మ్యాప్ ఇట్ ప్రాపర్లీ అనమాట. సడన్గా ఇట్ డిస్టర్బ్స్ యువర్ లైఫ్. అఫ్ కోర్స్ ఈ మధ్య వచ్చిన టెక్నాలజీ నాలెడ్జ్తో ఆ యాక్సిడెంట్స్ తక్కువ అయిపోయినాయి, బట్ దే స్టిల్ హ్యాపెన్. ఉత్తర భారతదేశంలో కూడా హాట్ వాటర్ స్ప్రింగ్స్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి చాలామంది ఆ నీళ్ళలో స్నానం చేస్తే చాలా వ్యాధులు తగ్గుతాయని, ఇటువంటి ఐడియాస్ చుట్టూనే ఇక్కడ హెబ్బర్న్ స్ప్రింగ్స్ కానీ జర్మనీలో, ఫ్రాన్స్లో మెనీ స్ప్రింగ్ సోర్సెస్ దగ్గర బాత్స్ అరేంజ్ చేస్తారు, స్నాన వాటికల్లాగా. అసలు ఇంగ్లాండ్లో బాత్ అన్న పేరే ఉంది, ఆ ఊరు పేరే బాత్, స్నాన వాటిక. అది రోమన్లు కట్టారు ఆ ఊరు. ధనవంతులు వచ్చేసి చర్మ వ్యాధులు, రకరకాల వ్యాధులు ఉన్నవాళ్ళు, వాళ్ళ పని ఏంటంటే ఆ నీళ్ళలో పొద్దున్నుంచి సాయంత్రం దాకా సబ్మర్జ్ అయ్యి, ఇమ్మర్స్ అయ్యి దాంట్లోనే గడిపి బయటకు వస్తారనమాట కొన్ని రోజులు. అటువంటి జియోలాజికలీ ఫ్యాసినేటింగ్ థింగ్స్ ఆర్ అరౌండ్ మెల్బర్న్ టు. మెల్బర్న్ వచ్చేసి ఇక్కడ క్రికెట్ స్టేడియం ఉంటుంది, ఎంసీజీ ఎక్కడ అని చూసుకుని వెళ్ళిపోవటమే కాదు, చుట్టుపక్కల ఇట్లాంటి అద్భుతాలు ఉన్నాయి, అవి కూడా పీపుల్ షుడ్ విజిట్.
So there's one more question by comments. Tarla Harish Garu, if we the humans are born and evolved by the nature and universe, then why should you think that astrology does not work? Some energy controls us. That might be these planets and stars astrology. I think you're very confused, Andy. I think basic science ఒకవేళ మీరు చెక్ చేసుకుంటే ఇలాంటి కన్ఫ్యూజన్ ఉండకపోవచ్చు మీకు.
ఒకసారి అది డిస్ప్లే చేయండి క్వశ్చన్. ఇప్పుడు అక్కడ చూడండి, మీ ఐ విల్ హెల్ప్ యూ టు థింక్ ప్రాపర్లీ. ఇది ఆలోచన లేని ప్రశ్న. ఇఫ్ ద హ్యూమన్స్ ఆర్ బోర్న్ అండ్ ఇవాల్వ్ బై నేచర్ అండ్ యూనివర్స్, humans are born and evolved in nature and in universe. Yes. Then why should you think that astrology does not work? అంటే దాని అర్థం ఏంటి? ఎవల్యూషన్ ఇన్ నేచర్ జరిగింది కాబట్టి ఆస్ట్రాలజీ ఎందుకు పనిచేయదు? అసలు లింక్ ఏమన్నా ఉందా ఈ రెండింటికి? హ్యూమన్స్ ఆర్ ఇవాల్వ్డ్, ఆల్ లైఫ్ ఈజ్ ఇవాల్వ్డ్. Evolution is a basis of present manifestation of life. Then why should you think astrology does not work? ఓకే, నేను ఇది కొంచెం మారుస్తాను మీకు అర్థమయ్యేటట్టుగా. దిస్ ఈజ్ ఎ మౌస్, కంప్యూటర్ మౌస్. Therefore, why should astrology not work? ఈ రెండు సెంటెన్సెస్కి ఎట్లా సంబంధం లేదో మీరు అడిగిన దానికి సంబంధం లేదు. మళ్ళీ ఇంకేం తీసుకొచ్చారు? సమ్ ఎనర్జీ కంట్రోల్స్ అస్. సమ్ ఎనర్జీ అంటే ఆ సమ్ ఎనర్జీకి పేరు చెప్పు నాయన. సమ్ ఎనర్జీ కంట్రోల్స్ అస్ అంటే దట్ మైట్ బి దీస్ ప్లానెట్స్ అండ్ స్టార్స్. అదేంటో చెప్పి సావాలి కదా ఆస్ట్రాలజర్స్. I don't know if you are an astrologer or if you are repeating astrologers' stupid things. ఈ బ్రెయిన్లెస్ ప్రపోజల్స్ ఆస్ట్రాలజర్స్ చేసేదేంటి? ఒక ఎనర్జీ వస్తుంది. మీరే చెప్పండి, ప్లానెట్స్ నుంచి మనకు వచ్చేది ఏంటి? ప్లానెట్స్ నుంచి, స్టార్స్ అని కూడా అన్నారు, ప్లానెట్స్ గురించి మాట్లాడదాం. ప్లానెట్స్ నుంచి మనకి గ్రావిటేషన్ వస్తుంది, అంతే కదా? సౌండ్ వస్తుందా? రాదు కదా. ప్లానెట్స్ నుంచి మనకి హీట్ వస్తుందా? రాదు కదా. గ్రావిటేషన్ మటుకు ఉంటుంది. ఏ లెవెల్ గ్రావిటేషన్ అన్నది లెక్కలేస్తే తేలుతుంది. ఆస్ట్రాలజర్ ఎవడైనా ఒక్కడైనా ఎప్పుడైనా లెక్కేశాడా? వేయలేదు కదా. ఆస్ట్రానమర్స్ వేశారు. వాళ్ళు వేసిన లెక్క ప్రకారం కాస్మాలజీ, ఆస్ట్రానమీ, వాటి ప్రకారం మనకు తెలిసేది ఏంటంటే, ఇప్పుడు నా పక్కన ఈ మొబైల్ ఫోన్ ఉంది కదండి, ఈ మొబైల్ ఫోన్ నా పైన ఎగ్జర్ట్ చేసే ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ త్రూ గ్రావిటేషన్, త్రూ గ్రావిటీ ఈజ్ మెనీ టైమ్స్ మోర్ దెన్ వాట్ ఇట్ కమ్స్ ఫ్రమ్ సాటర్న్ ఆర్ జూపిటర్. ఇప్పుడు ఈ మాత్రం ఇంగ్లీష్ రాశారంటే మీరు 9th 10th చదివే ఉండాలి. ఆలోచించడం నేర్చుకోకపోయి ఉండొచ్చు, కానీ ఈ మాత్రం చదివే ఉంటారు కదా. ఓసారి రిఫ్రెష్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్. ఫార్ములాస్ నేర్పిస్తారు మనకి ఫిజిక్స్లో, ఫోర్సు, గ్రావిటేషను, ఇన్వర్స్లీ ప్రపోర్షనల్ టు డిస్టెన్సు అని. అదే అప్లై చేయండి, మీకే తెలుస్తుంది. నేను ఎందుకు ఆలోచించాలి మీకోసం? ఆస్ట్రాలజర్ ఎందుకు ఆలోచించాలి మీకోసం? చదువుకున్న వాళ్ళం కదా మనం, ఆ లెక్కలు మనం వేసుకోవాలి. దట్ మైట్ బి దీస్ ప్లానెట్స్ అండ్ స్టార్స్. దట్ మైట్ బి ప్లానెట్స్, స్టార్స్ మనల్ని ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ చేయాలన్న అవసరం మీకు ఎందుకు వచ్చింది? చేస్తే లేకపోతే చేయవు. అది వాస్తవం మీద ఆధారపడి ఉంటుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఇదేమో పిల్లల కోసం అని పెట్టాము. మీరు పిల్లలే అయితే మిమ్మల్ని నేను కోప్పడకూడదు, ఎందుకంటే ఆలోచన ఎలా చేయాలి అన్నది నేర్చుకోవటం చాలా ముఖ్యం. అక్కడ దెన్ అన్నదానికి అంతకుముందు సెంటెన్స్కి ఈ సెంటెన్స్కి సంబంధం లేనప్పుడు దెన్ అన్నది రాకూడదు. అట్లాగే ఎనర్జీ అన్నది ఆ ఎనర్జీ ఏంటో చెప్పాలి, ఆ ఎనర్జీ ఎటువంటి ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ చూపిస్తుందో చెప్పాలి. నువ్వు ఒక యాగమో లేకపోతే ఒక పూజో చేస్తే ఆ ఎనర్జీని ఎట్లా చేంజ్ చేస్తున్నావు అన్నది కూడా నువ్వు చెప్పాలి కదా. ఆస్ట్రాలజర్ కేవలంగా చెప్పి ఊరుకోడు కదా. డబ్బులు పెట్టు, నేను నీకు ఒక యజ్ఞమో యాగమో చేస్తాను, దాని కారణంగా శుక్రుడు కానీ, శని కానీ, అంగారకుడు కానీ వాళ్ళు చేసే తప్పుడు పనులన్నీ నేను కరెక్ట్ చేస్తానని దానికి ఒక గడ్డిపోస తీసుకురావటము, ఒక కమండలం తేవటము, దాంట్లో నీళ్లు పోయటము, అరే నువ్వు కూడా తెచ్చుకో నాయన చెంబులో నీళ్ళు పోయి దాని మీద గడ్డి పెట్టు, వస్తుందా రాదో చూసుకో. ఇవన్నీ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఎప్పుడు చేసుకోవచ్చు? ఇది వాస్తవం కాదో తెలుసుకునే కుతూహలం ఉన్నప్పుడు. అసలు మనమే ఆస్ట్రాలజర్ అనుకో, ఈ తరాల హరీష్ అని ఆయనే ఒక జ్యోతిష్యుడు అనుకో, అప్పుడు వేరేగా ఉంటుంది నా సమాధానం. బట్ ఐ డోంట్ నో హూ యు ఆర్ కాబట్టి మర్యాదగానే చెప్తున్నాను నేను.
So last comment for the day probably we'll take. If no one is joining us, then we will end after this comment. What is the most important thing kids should learn in school to be a good humanist and rationalist? From Venkata Deepak N.
వెంకట దీపక్ గారు, ఫస్ట్ హ్యూమనిజం, రేషనలిజం, ఈ రెండు పదాలని మనం ఒక్కసారి బ్రీఫ్గా మనం నిర్వచించుకుంటే, ఇఫ్ యు యూజ్ రీజన్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ ద యూనివర్స్ అండ్ హ్యూమన్ సొసైటీ and our relation with other lives and non-life, we are on the way to rationalism. But rationalism is also an approach to truth and claims to truth. నేను చెప్పిందే నిజం అన్న వ్యక్తిని ప్రశ్నించటం కూడా రాషనలిజంలో భాగమే. ఎందుకంటే నా అథారిటీయే ఫైనల్ అథారిటీ, దీన్ని ప్రశ్నించడానికి వీల్లేదు, సత్యం అన్నది, వాస్తవం అన్నది ఓ పుస్తకం చదివితే వచ్చేస్తుంది అని అనుకుంటున్నారు చూడండి, వాళ్ళకి మనం సమాధానం ఇస్తున్నాం. హేతుబద్ధత, రేషనల్ థింకింగ్తో వాస్తవాలను గ్రహించటానికి మనము we have to examine things, we have to measure things, we have to use calculations అని అన్నీ చెప్తున్నాం కదా. అవన్నీ చేసినప్పుడు వీఆర్ ప్రాక్టీసింగ్ రేషనలిజం. ఈ అవగాహన వచ్చినాక మనం మానవ సమాజంలో ఉంటూ సాటి మనుషులతో ఎలా వ్యవహరించాలి, హౌ టు రిలేట్ టు అదర్ హ్యూమన్స్, వాట్ గైడ్ లైన్స్ వీ షుడ్ యూజ్, వాట్ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఆఫ్ హ్యూమన్స్ వీ నీడ్ అండ్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు డెవలప్. మనుషులందరూ సమానము, మనకి రీజన్, రేషనలిజం మెథడ్సే సైన్స్ కూడా వాడుతుంది కాబట్టి ఆ సైంటిఫిక్ మెథడ్తో మనం ఏం తెలుసుకున్నాము? వీ హ్యావ్ లెర్న్డ్ దట్ దెర్ ఈజ్ యూనిటీ ఇన్ లైఫ్. అంటే జీవానికి ఉన్న బేసిస్ అన్నిటికీ ఒకటే అన్నది తెలుసుకున్నాము. మనుషులందరూ ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ హ్యూమన్స్, అంటే నియాండర్తర్లు ఉండేవాళ్ళు, వాళ్ళని వాళ్ళ హోమోసేపియన్స్ చంపేసి ఉండాలి. మనుషులు ఒకప్పుడు నేటి హ్యూమన్స్, హోమోసేపియన్స్ సాటి మనుషుల్ని తినేవాళ్ళు. 50 ఏళ్ల క్రితం, 60 ఏళ్ల క్రితము ఇండియాలో రకరకాల ట్రైబల్ కమ్యూనిటీస్లో కూడా అది జరుగుతూ ఉండేది. 150 ఏళ్ల క్రితము నాన్ ట్రైబల్ సొసైటీస్లో కూడా ఇది జరుగుతూ ఉండేది, సాటి మనుషుల్ని తింటాం. బట్ మిగిలింది ఎవరు అంటే హోమోసేపియన్స్. మనందరి ఆరిజిన్స్, అది ఆఫ్రికాలో కావచ్చు, ఆస్ట్రేలియాలో కావచ్చు, ఇండియా కావచ్చు, అమెరికా కావచ్చు, కెనడా కావచ్చు, యూరప్ కావచ్చు, దక్షిణ అమెరికా కావచ్చు, వీటన్నిటిలో స్ప్రెడ్ అయి ఉన్న మానవులందరికీ ఒకటే తల్లి ఉండి ఉండాలి అని ఎగ్జామిన్ చేస్తే ఒకటే తల్లి అని రూఢిగా తెలిసింది. ఎందుకు? మనము జన్యుపరమైన పరీక్షలు చేస్తే మనందరి మెటర్నల్ మైటోకాండ్రియా ఎగ్జామిన్ చేస్తే మనందరము ఒకే తల్లికి పుట్టిన సంతానం యొక్క సంతానం అని తెలిసింది. అందరి తండ్రులు ఒకరు అవ్వాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, తల్లి మట్టుకరి. అంటే మనుషులంతా ఒక్కటే అని ఫ్యాక్ట్ కూడా మనం తెలుసుకున్నాక, మనుషులంతా ఒకే తల్లికి పుట్టిన వారు కాకపోయినా కూడా మానవ సమాజంలో మనందరం ఉన్నాం కాబట్టి ఒకరి పట్ల ఒకరు మనం వ్యవహరించే తీరు ఏ విలువల ఆధారంగా మనం చేస్తాము, సమానత్వం, ఆపదలో ఉన్న వాళ్ళని ఆదుకునే ఆ సానుభూతి, సింపతి, ఎంపతి, నాకేం కావాలో అదే నువ్వు కోరుకుంటావు అనుకుంటా, నీ నుండి నేనేం కోరుకుంటున్నానో నా నుండి నువ్వు అదే కోరుకుంటావు. కాబట్టి అటువంటివన్నీ అంటే మెంటల్గా డిస్టర్బ్ అయిన వాళ్ళకి ఇది వర్తించకపోవచ్చు. మామూలు మనుషులకి ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్స్, కోరికలు ఏవైతే ఉంటాయో అది సార్వజనీనం కాబట్టి అందరికీ ఉంటాయి. కాబట్టి అవన్నీ అందరికీ అందటానికి ఎటువంటి విలువలు కావాలో వాటన్నిటినీ మనం క్రోడీకరిస్తే హ్యూమనిజం అయింది, మానవవాదం అయింది. అంటే a method of thinking, an approach to reality, to understanding facts and truth is given to us by the methodology of rationalism. It gives us an understanding. We convert that understanding into a system of values, of ethics, of way of life, of defining things. That becomes humanism. ఇప్పుడు ఐ వుడ్ లైక్ టు ఆన్సర్ యువర్ క్వశ్చన్. ఇవి ఎక్కడ నేర్చుకోవాలి పిల్లలు అని? ఫస్ట్ ఇంట్లో నేర్చుకోవాలి. తల్లిదండ్రుల మాటలు, వారి చేష్టల నుండి నేర్చుకోవాలి. మామూలుగా ఆధునికంగా మనకున్న అవగాహన ఏంటంటే, మనం పిల్లలకి ఏమి చేస్తూ కనిపిస్తామో వాటి నుండే వాళ్ళు నేర్చుకుంటారు, మనం చెప్పేవి, మనం ఇచ్చే స్పీచ్ల వల్ల కాదు అని. ఆధునిక అబ్జర్వేషనల్ సైన్స్, హ్యూమన్ సైన్స్ మనకి చెప్తుంది. సో ఫస్ట్ రేషనలిజము, హ్యూమనిజము మనం ఇంట్లో నేర్చుకోవాలి. స్కూల్లో ఏం నేర్చుకోవాలి? ఇదే నేర్చుకోవాలి. ఎందుకంటే స్కూల్లో ఒక ఫిలాసఫీ, ఒక ఐడియాలజీ, ఒక రిలీజన్ చెప్పే అవకాశం స్కూల్ ఇవ్వకూడదు. గవర్నమెంట్ స్కూల్ అయితే అసలు హక్కు కూడా లేదు ఆ స్కూల్కి. కాకపోతే మీరు ఏదైనా ఒక రిలీజియస్ ఐడియాలజీతో పెట్టిన స్కూల్లో పిల్లల్ని చేర్పిస్తే, స్పెషల్లీ మైనారిటీ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్ అయితే వారికి వారి ఆలోచనల్ని నేర్పించే హక్కు ఉంటుంది. కానీ ఆ హక్కు ఎవరిది? స్కూల్ యాజమాన్యాది. పిల్లలకి వ్యతిరేకంగా ఉన్న హక్కు కాదని. మీరు ఇది నా పిల్లలకి మీరు నేర్పించడానికి వీల్లేదు, సిలబస్లో భాగం అది కాదు అంటే వాళ్ళు నేర్పించకూడదు. ఇందాక నేను ప్రతాప్ గారు అడిగిన ప్రశ్నకి, అంతకుముందు వచ్చిన ప్రశ్నలకి చెప్తూ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఒక్క మాట చెప్పాము. మన పిల్లలకి మనం మానవవాదులుగా ఐడెంటిటీ ఇచ్చి, స్కూల్లో మా పిల్లలు మానవవాదులు, హేతువాదులు, నాస్తికులు అని చెప్పే హక్కు మనకు ఉంటుంది. మైనారిటీ స్కూల్లో, క్రిస్టియన్ స్కూల్లో, హిందూ స్కూల్లో, వేదిక్ స్కూల్లో, ఇస్లామిక్ స్కూల్లో చేర్పించినా కూడా మన పిల్లల హక్కు ఎక్కడికి పోదు, అక్కడే ఉంటుంది. బట్ వాట్ షుడ్ దే లెర్న్ ఇన్ స్కూల్? ఇన్ స్కూల్ దే షుడ్ లెర్న్ అబౌట్ హ్యూమన్ రైట్స్ అండి. హ్యూమన్ రైట్స్ ఆర్ ఏ డైరెక్ట్ గిఫ్ట్ ఆఫ్ హ్యూమనిజం అండి. మనుషులందరూ సమానం, ఎవరికి స్పెషల్ ప్రివిలేజెస్ ఉండటానికి వీల్లేదు, ఉండవు, ఉండకూడదు అని చెప్పేది మానవవాదమేనండి. కులాల్లో పుట్టిన వాళ్ళకి మన కులం వాళ్ళు గొప్ప, మన కులం వాళ్ళు వేరే వాళ్ళకంటే పైన అన్న చెప్పిన ఆ వైరస్ ఏదైతే ఉందో, డిస్క్రిమినేషన్ వైరస్, మాలామాదిగ మధ్య లేదు. ఇద్దరూ సమాజం యొక్క బాధితులు అయినప్పటికీ మాలలు మాదిగల్ని డిస్క్రిమినేట్ చేయరు. ఆఫ్రికాలో చాలా బ్యాడ్ సిచ్యువేషన్ ఉన్నప్పటికీ నైజీరియాలో అన్టచబిలిటీ ఉంది. అణగదొక్కబడిన వారు అన్టచబుల్స్ని ఇంకా ఎక్కువ అణగదొక్కుతూ ఉంటారు. వీటన్నిటికీ పరిష్కారము మానవవాద దృక్పథం. ఎందుకంటే మానవ హక్కులు, మానవ సమానత్వాన్ని, కష్టాల్లో ఉన్న మనుషులకి మనం సపోర్ట్ చేయటం అన్నది మనం నేర్పిస్తాం. మానవ హక్కులు నేర్పిస్తే హ్యూమనిజం నేర్పించినట్టే. ఎందుకంటే హక్కులు అందరికీ చెందుతాయి అనగానే అది మానవవాదమే. మతవాదంలో హక్కులు కొంతమందికే ఉంటాయి, అందరికీ ఉండవు. రేషనలిజం ఎక్కడ నేర్చుకోవాలి? ఏ రేషనలిజం స్కూల్లో నేర్చుకోవాలి? ద మెథడ్ ఆఫ్ రీజన్, ద మెథడ్ ఆఫ్ రేషనాలిటీ ఆఫ్ రేషనలిజం ఈజ్ అ మెథడ్ ఆఫ్ సైన్స్ అండి. సో సైన్స్ నేర్పించినంత మేరకు, ఆలోచన నేర్పించినంత మేరకు, లాజికల్గా ఆలోచించటం అన్నది భారతదేశంలో స్కూల్స్లో ఒక ఎసెన్షియల్ కాంపనెంట్గా లేదు. ప్రపంచవ్యాప్తంగా తత్వశాస్త్రాన్ని పిల్లలకి నేర్పిస్తారు. పి ఫర్ ఫిలాసఫీ, ఫర్ బదులు నంబర్ 4, ఎందుకంటే ఫర్ అంటే 4 లాగా వినిపిస్తుంది, 4 అంటే ఫర్ లాగా ఉంటుంది. సి ఫర్ చిల్డ్రన్. P4C అన్నది ఒక యునెస్కో వారి ప్రతిపాదిత ఎడ్యుకేషనల్ మెథడాలజీ. స్కూళ్ళల్లో నేను ఫిన్లాండ్లో స్కూళ్ళకు వెళ్ళాను. ఫిన్లాండ్లో ఆయన చనిపోయారు, ఒక మానవవాది, పెక్కా ఈలో, నాకు చాలా మంచి మిత్రుడు ఆయన. ఆయన ఫిన్లాండ్ దేశానికి ఎడ్యుకేషనల్ మినిస్ట్రీకి నేషనల్ అడ్వైజర్గా పనిచేసేవారు. ఆయన వాళ్ళ స్కూళ్ళకి తీసుకువెళ్ళాడు. అక్కడ లాజిక్, అక్కడ ఫిలాసఫీ క్లాసెస్ జరుగుతుంటాయి. ఇప్పుడు పిల్లలకి థియరీ చెప్పటమే కాదు, పిల్లలతో చేయిస్తారు, వడ్రంగం నేర్పిస్తారు పిల్లలకి. స్క్రూలు పెట్టడం ఎట్లా, ఎలక్ట్రిసిటీని హ్యాండిల్ చేయటం ఎట్లా నేర్పిస్తారు, సేఫ్గా ఎలా చేయగలరు, ఇవన్నీ నేర్పిస్తూ ఉన్నప్పుడు మనం వాళ్ళకి రేషనల్ థింకింగ్ నేర్పించినప్పుడు ద మెథడ్ ఆఫ్ సైన్స్ నేర్పిస్తున్నాము. మెథడ్ ఆఫ్ సైన్స్ నేర్పించినప్పుడు రేషనలిజమే నేర్పిస్తున్నాం. ఈ రెండు మనం మోడర్న్ ఎడ్యుకేషనల్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్స్లో వీ కెన్ ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ అండి. ఆ మేరకు we will be supporting our children to develop into full, well-rounded young persons ready for society. మనం నేర్పించాల్సిన అత్యంత ముఖ్యమైన విలువ నా దృష్టిలో, ధైర్యంగా నేను ఎవరో చెప్పటం అన్నది ఇట్స్ టేకెన్ ఫర్ గ్రాంటెడ్. నా ఆలోచన నేనే చేస్తాను అన్నది టేకెన్ ఫర్ గ్రాంటెడ్. మనలాగా ఆలోచించని వారిని మనం మర్యాదగా ట్రీట్ చేయాలి. మనం అధికారం మన చేతిలో ఉన్నా కూడా మానవ హక్కుల ఉల్లంఘన జరగనంత కాలం చర్చ చేసుకోవచ్చు, కానీ హేళన చేయకూడదు అన్నది ముఖ్యం. ఏ రోజైతే వారి భావజాలాన్ని మన మీద రుద్దటానికి ట్రై చేస్తారో అప్పుడు దాన్ని అపోజ్ చేయాలి, గేలి చేయాలి, హేళన చేయాలి. అదంతా పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ సోషల్ డిస్కోర్స్. కానీ ఎదుటి వారిని కించపరచడానికి మనం మన మానవవాద దృక్పథాన్ని, అవగాహనని, రేషనలిస్ట్ అప్రోచ్ని వాడుకునే అవకాశం లేకుండా చూసుకోవాలి. మన పిల్లల మైండ్ సెట్ని అట్లా డెవలప్ చేయాలి. దే మస్ట్ బి రెస్పాన్సిబుల్ పార్టిసిపెంట్స్ అండ్ మెంబర్స్ ఆఫ్ సొసైటీ. దీంట్లో ఎటువంటి అనుమానం లేదు. ఇంకొకటి, మీ ప్రశ్న హేతువాదం, మానవవాదం గురించి. మానవవాదం, హేతువాదం అంటే కేవలం మనం లాజిక్, సైన్స్, రీజను, మానవ హక్కులుతో సరిపెట్టకూడదు. ద క్రియేటివ్ ఆర్ట్స్, పెయింటింగ్, స్కల్ప్చర్, క్రియేటివిటీ, లిటరేచర్, spontaneously developing the human spirit అంటే ఇదేదో రిలీజియస్ టర్మ్ కాదు, the human approach, understanding of wonder and awe. ఇవన్నీ కూడా మన పిల్లల్ని పెంచే దీంట్లో తీసుకురావాలి. నేను చాలాసార్లు ఆట పట్టిస్తూ ఉంటాను, హేతువాదులు ఇంత జిడ్డు మొఖాలు ఏంటని. ఒక జోక్ అర్థం కాదు, జోక్ చెప్పటం రాదు. ఏదన్నా అంటే హేతువాదము, మతము అంటే, మతం లేకపోతే హేతువాదం లేదా? మతానికి సంబంధం లేకుండా హేతువాదం ఉంటుంది, మతానికి సంబంధం లేకుండా మానవవాదం ఉంటుంది. మళ్ళీ ఎంఎన్ రాయ్ గారిని తలుచుకుంటున్నాను నేను. దేర్ ఈజ్ రిథమ్ ఇన్ ద కాస్మాస్. ఈ విశ్వాంతరాళాన్ని మనం పరిశీలిస్తే దాంట్లో ఒక లయ మనకి తెలుస్తుంది, ద రిథమ్. Tuning into the rhythm of the cosmos is the job of science by discovering what that rhythm is and by what rules and methods that rhythm is being expressed. Of course, ఇది కవిత్వం వాడుతూ ఉన్నారు ఆయన ఈ విషయం గురించి మాట్లాడటానికి. దాని పరిశోధన సైన్సే, కానీ విశ్వాన్ని చూసి అబ్బురపడే క్వాలిటీ ఏదైతే ఉందో, పిల్లల్లో ఏదైతే ఉంటుందో అది చచ్చిపోకుండా కాపాడుకోవాలి. అట్లాగే ఈ విశ్వం ఇలాగే ఉండాలా అన్న దాంట్లో మనకి ఎటువంటి రియల్ ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ ఉండదు. ఈ సమాజం ఇలానే ఉండాలా అన్న విషయంలో మటుకు మనకు పాత్ర ఉంది. ఈ సమాజాన్ని వి మస్ట్ మేక్ ఇట్ బెటర్. అటువంటి మేకింగ్ బెటర్లో ఒక విజన్, ఒక యాక్షన్, ఎవ్రీ జనరేషన్ హ్యాస్ టు డెవలప్ దట్. ఈ ప్రాథమిక బాధ్యత, క్యారెక్టర్ బిల్డింగ్ మన పిల్లల్లో మనం చేయాలి. దట్ వుడ్ బి మై invitation to all young people. Don't think like old people, don't think like your parents, unless it is justified by facts, unless you are convinced. And don't become jiddu mokalu all the time fighting religion, superstition. There is so much to celebrate in life. ఎదుటివాడి మూఢనమ్మకాన్ని మనం మోసుకుని తిరగటం కాదు, ఎప్పుడు ఏడు ముఖం వేసుకుని. We must demand that superstition should be addressed, should be defeated, because superstition is the basis of discrimination, exploitation. ఆ మేరకు సోషల్ యాక్టివిజంలో భాగంగా we must fight. కానీ జోక్ చెప్పటం మర్చిపోవద్దు, పెయింటింగ్ వేయటం మర్చిపోవద్దు, పిల్లలతో ఆడుకోవటం అన్నది సెకండరీ చేయొద్దు. అట్లా వాక్కి వెళ్ళటం, ఆలోచించటం, ఇమాజినింగ్ థింగ్స్, వీటన్నిటిని దూరం పెట్టద్దు. డోంట్ బికమ్ సింగిల్ మైండెడ్, వన్ డైమెన్షన్ పీపుల్. ఆదిత్యలాగా వంట చేయటం నేర్చుకోండి. ఆయనలాగా రుచికరమైన ఆహారాన్ని వండటం రాకపోతే కనీసం ఆస్వాదించటం నేర్చుకోండి. నేను ఫుడ్ అంత పట్టించుకొని ఏదైనా ఒకటే, అరే ఏం పాగల్ మాటలు అవి. నాకు నేనే సంగీతాన్ని ఆస్వాదించలేను. దాని అర్థం సంగీతం పట్ల నాకు చులకన భావన ఉందని కాదు, నా వల్ల కావట్లేదని. వచ్చిన వాళ్ళకి స్థానం కల్పించండి. పాటలు పాడటం ఏంటి హేతువాదం? వాళ్ళ హేతువాదం పాటల ద్వారా వస్తుందబ్బా. నీకు ఇష్టం లేకపోతే నువ్వు ఛానల్ మార్చుకో, ఆ స్టేజ్ మీద ఉన్న వాళ్ళని నువ్వు చూడవాక బయటికి వెళ్ళు. బట్ హ్యూమన్ లైఫ్ ఈజ్ మల్టీఫాసెటెడ్, మల్టీస్ప్లెండర్డ్. దీన్నన్నిటినీ మనం ఆస్వాదించి డెవలప్ చేసుకోవాలి. ఆదిత్య, you're on mute.
Thank you, sir. We've come to the end of the show. And as you mentioned, cook more, learn to cook, eat. And I'm looking for one more opportunity to cook for you again. Probably that will happen soon. And thank you, everyone who have joined live today and will be checking this video later in some time. And my invitation to all of you that there's a lot of content that is related to humanism, rationalism, science, a lot of Ask BG episodes that we made through this channel in Indian Humanist. Please do watch them. There's a lot of content that you can definitely dwell and learn from it before some of the friends who have put some silly comments and silly questions. So all those basic silly ignorances will be taken out of you if you go through those videos. I think so.
And oka mata, ignorance is not silly, but fighting ignorance is a responsibility for us. What would be silly is astrologer itla annadi దానికి నువ్వేమంటావు? నువ్వేమన్నా జర్నలిస్టా? వాడు చెప్పింది నాకు మోసుకొచ్చి నా ఆన్సర్ తెలుసుకోవడానికి? లేదు నువ్వు నారద మునివా మా ఇద్దరి మధ్య దెబ్బలాట పెట్టడానికి? నీకు బుద్ధి ఉంది, నీకు తెలివి ఉంది, జ్ఞానం ఎలా పొందాలో ఈరోజు కష్టం కాదు, నీ ఆలోచన నువ్వు చేయాలి. ఇంకొకటి ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్ నువ్వు మోసుకురాకూడదు, నువ్వు వాడికి బానిస అయితే ఎట్లా? వాడు డబ్బులు చేసుకుంటున్నాడబ్బా ఆస్ట్రాలజీతో, నువ్వు బానిసవి. వాడు చెప్పింది నువ్వు నమ్మి వాడికి నువ్వు రెగ్యులర్గా డబ్బులు అర్పించుకుంటున్నావు. నీది కాదు ఈ స్టోరీ, ఈ గేమ్ నీది కాదు, ఇంకెవరిదో. ఇది నువ్వు అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి. సంబడి ఈజ్ ఎక్స్ప్లాయిటింగ్ మై లేజినెస్ ఇన్ థింకింగ్, మై ఇగ్నోరెన్స్. అమెరికాలో ఈస్ట్ ఫేసింగ్ హౌసింగ్ ప్లాట్ కోసం అమెరికా డాలర్లలో అక్షరాల $75,000 ఎక్స్ట్రా కడతారు ఈస్ట్ ఫేసింగ్ ప్లాట్ కోసం. ఆస్ట్రేలియాలో ఈస్ట్ ఫేసింగ్ ప్లాట్ కోసం ఎక్స్ట్రా డబ్బులు కడతారు. కొంచెమన్నా బుద్ధి ఉండాలి కదా, స్కూల్కి వెళ్ళావు కదా నువ్వు, నీకు అసలు వీసా ఎట్ట ఇచ్చాడు ఎవడైనా? ఆస్ట్రేలియా భూమధ్య రేఖకి కింద ఉంది, భారతదేశం భూమధ్య రేఖకి పైన ఉంది, అమెరికా పైనే ఉంది. ఏది తూర్పు ఏది దక్షిణం? తిరుగుతున్న గోళం మీద ఏది పర్మనెంట్గా తూర్పు? ఇట్లా ఉంది గోళం, గోళం తిరుగుతూ ఉంది. నీ తూర్పు నువ్వు మొదలు పెట్టినప్పుడు ఇటు ఉంది, కానీ నీ ఇల్లు తలుపు ఇటు తిరిగింది కదా, 12 గంటల్లో తిరుగుతుంది కదా భూమి. నువ్వు ఆలోచించని కారణంగా రియల్ ఎస్టేట్ వాడు నీ దగ్గర నుండి $75,000 సంపాదిస్తున్నాడు, నీ బుద్ధి లేనితనం కారణంగా. నువ్వు ఇంకొకడికి బానిస అయ్యి వాడు ఆలోచించి నిన్ను మోసం చేస్తే, అబద్ధం చెప్తే నువ్వు అది నమ్మిన కారణంగా నీ నష్టం ఎంతో చూసుకో. మనల్ని మనం కాపాడుకోవాలి, ఆలోచనతో చేయొచ్చు.
Thank you, sir. Every conversation with you is enlightening and very valuable for us. Thank you for your time, and thanks, friends, who have joined us today. And we'll see you in next episode of Ask BZ. Until then, bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you, Aditya.